We're giving away a professor's research, and all you have to do to enter is a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be picking a winner on the weekend. And now back to the video. What's going on? Welcome back to the Pocket Cast here. And we have Matt and Jay. How are y'all doing today?
Yo,
Dude,
So
we're chilling. We're chilling.
rank season's back, it's kind of exciting to transition to that part of our ongoing circle we're like living on, right? But you
For
know
sure.
it kind of feels like a hamster wheel. It's like tournaments,
Yeah.
side
of cour-
event, and then
Yeah.
boom.
I recommend people definitely find the times to step away for a moment, And people tend to kind of do that for certain mini sets, maybe if they don't like the vibe. Pokemon Pocket, the release schedule is crazy, right? And again, we try to get tournaments going every week, and then ranked comes out, but it can definitely feel like a bit too much, constantly. So, yeah, I think it's always a good thing to take breaks sometimes, step away, but at least it feels like there's stuff going on. There's always things to do, right?
You know,
Um,
for the amount of smack that all of us gives the game, we're kind of spoiled in the fact. I know
yeah,
people are probably gonna disagree or whatever, but the fact that at least we're getting like content every month.
yeah,
Imagine in
no,
a world like 2 months,
dude,
3 months waiting for our pack.
bro,
That'll
I
never
say
be
this
good.
all the time, Erica. Like, I really think Pokemon Pocket is incredible. It's an incredible experience. I think the complaints that I always have are just like we need more ways to play those with those cards. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's not the bad part about the game. The bad part is like let us have more opportunities to do things in the game, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, no, we always talk about that.
I was just
I
looking at Duel
actually,
Links, and
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
separation on when they get packs is compared to this game is kind of insane.
Yeah. Well, I think they also have the upside of like, they can go back and kind of,
Yeah,
for
they have
lack of a better
events.
word, like they can copy stuff from like the
Yeah,
official TCG, and they can kind of reuse assets a lot, which some people might think is a downside, but like, I'd rather have updates to the game constantly. You know what I mean?
what do you mean? We
For
got
sure.
nerfed Goldango.
Dude.
Goldango
We
was
also got nerfed
broken.
Chien Pao. Chien
Yeah,
Pao was technically nerfed. But yeah, and I think they've killed it this whole past year. I think B series has been, for the most part, like really solid. Couple of down, couple of couple of uh couple of down sets, but for the most part, I mean, what do you think, Jay? Do you think B series in general has been better than A series in terms of card quality?
yeah. Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
think so.
look back and I keep saying like with each set that releases, if you look back where we were like last year or a year before, like where were we last year at this point? I think it was
Deluxe
like my vision
Super.
just is blurred between Dark Tina and Suicune
I think it
Greninja.
was I
So
think it was
somewhere between there.
Ho-Oh right? Was that what B4 was?
Is where we
Ho-Oh
were. I think that's the set that
Maybe.
dropped,
Is
but
that
it
that
Maybe
just
so.
wisdom?
feels like as far as like what we were playing into, it's just like there was it's one of two things. Whereas like
Yeah.
if we ask this question a year from now, where were we
Well,
last
right.
year?
People
It's
won't
gonna be
even
like, bro, I
remember.
don't even remember. There's gonna be so
Yeah.
much stuff. You could take your pick. Where were we?
Right. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
I think again like the quality of gameplay, and I think we're kind of taking it for granted. We've been getting so spoiled that we're turning into literally spoiled kids at this point, where it's like, I'm bored. It's not enough, and it's like honestly, look at how great the game is compared to last year,
Yeah.
as far as card quality goes. So
Yeah. I agree, man.
I I'm still
For
waiting for
sure.
content. Don't get me wrong. I'm still waiting for content, but I
Yeah.
do think
Right.
the quality of cards is at an all-time high. It goes up every month.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say there is an inverse to this though. With rank dropping, I'm sure a lot of players, in fact, I know a lot of players and a lot of like big name players are saying, what the heck is this? Why am I sub 50% win rate this season? And they're like content creators who are top 1,000 every season, top 100 even. And it's like, why, what's going on this season? I think again with the like addition of more and more cards or more and more decks that can compete at this high level meta standard, or even kind of replace the meta or bump the meta up even a little bit further.
Mm.
I think I don't know, it's just it's getting to a point where it's hard to really get a good run going in ranked. I feel like if you get a
Yeah.
5 streak going, you're really lucky at this point. It's not like
Yeah.
before I could you could just take a deck and go 5, depending on the deck, you could take a deck and go 5 win streaks like it was nothing. In fact, that was kind of the bar, right? It's like, can this even go 5 win streaks? No. Well, it's a garbage deck.
Right. Yeah.
But now it's
Yeah.
like that's something to achieve and like highlight is like, cool, I'm on a win streak. So
Yeah. I think a big reason for that is that there's so many strong decks and cards in Pokemon Pocket at this point. And it goes back to like the card quality thing. And I was thinking about it today, and I actually do think about it sometimes. Like there's a lot of stuff that really isn't popular. Like if you go to a tournament, like there might be 0 people playing it, but it's significantly strong. Like it could easily just win. So it's like, I think when you hop on ranked, like you kind of hit a lot of that stuff where you're like, the meta becomes so decentralized that trying to kind of counter meta and play the meta in terms of deck choice and ranked, like just ends up not really being like a real option, and it's felt like that way, I think, the last couple of seasons, which, has its upsides and downsides. I'm sure the people who are trying to hit top 100 or whatever might find that frustrating, but the game is no matter what, and all competitive games are realistically, other than like skill-based games, like fighting games, they're meant for things to fall as closely to 50% as possible. You know what I mean? Like the concept is that everyone should be about 50%, right? Because you never know what you're going to hit. Every deck has a counter to that deck. Sometimes you misplay, sometimes your opponent misplays. You know what I mean? So it's definitely the wild west for sure right now in ranked. It's crazy.
Exactly. Rank is pretty it's pretty healthy in a way where like I guess like you go with Lucario, gets hard countered by Vespiquen. You play the Dark. No, I said that the wrong way. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Lucario destroys Vespiquen, and then Dark Hoopa gets destroyed by Vespiquen beats that, and then all of a sudden you have like the electric decks getting destroyed by also by the fighting Lucario decks. I mean, the thing is, no matter what you play, you're gonna have a super hard counter.
Right.
And
right. And what's
I'm
funny
kind of
though,
fried from playing too much Pocket. Like, it's just hard to like maintain that top 1,000.
Yeah, I gave up on top 1,000 like literally years ago, a year ago. But I still play ranked. I enjoy it. The funny thing is like, you point out like that rock paper scissors sort of meta triangle, and that's sort of what's at the forefront of the meta. But then if you go down a layer, there's even more triangles, right? There's even more sort of rock paper scissors, and then you go down a layer, and there's even more. And sometimes they cross over. It's like impossibly complex, realistically, and but I think, like, to your point, I think that's healthy. I do, and I think it allows people flexibility for what decks they can play.
I want to say too, we had that change recently, right? Where you don't lose prize points anymore, right? Or I guess not prize points.
In Ultra Ball,
I was about to bring that up
Master Ball, right?
because I've been seeing a lot of feedback from that.
I think it was in some ways a good thing. It pushes the competition to that Master Ball level, and I think that could be why, like, again, I've noticed a lot of people saying this season's really tough. There's a lot of competition this season, and again, I think it's probably in part due to that change. It's pushing all of that competition. It's funneling it into one. Is that a word, funneling? Either way, it's funneling it into funneling it into one, one channelized area up in Master Ball, as opposed to like Ultra Ball 4, that Ultra Ball 4 to Master Ball little window there being harder than most top 1,000 games. It's now taken that and moved it into Master Ball, where again it rightfully should be, I think. So
and that's where the diversity is, right? Is typically, in that Ultra Ball kind of low Master Ball tier. But yeah, again, it's always going to be a conflicting opinion, because there's so many people in the past that just got to Master Ball and then stopped playing, right? Because they were like, oh, I did it, I hit the highest tier, so I don't get any more rewards. Why would I keep playing? And like, I do get that to a degree, and if that's how you want to play, again, that's totally fine. But that was just never the whole point, Like, it's like, it took me, I think, 40 minutes to hit to Master Ball. But to be fair, like, I've 12 win streaked into Master Ball before, even when you could lose points in Ultra Ball. It's just now for those players that are maybe playing like off meta decks or want to play whatever they want to play. Like, you're just gonna get there. You're gonna get there without having to struggle. And now you can just play the game. You can just play ranked, and you're in Master Ball tier, and you're not going to de-rank, and and now it's just up to you to climb if you want to climb or not, or just continue to play, fun decks and probably hit other fun decks. And I think it's good, But again, people are reward oriented, and that's not a bad thing. Some people play the game so that they can get rewards, and in Pokemon Pocket, there's very little of that, realistically. The only example of that is getting to Master Ball every season and getting your free hourglasses. But yeah, I think it was a good change, personally.
There is one thing I want to bring up from that. I've been seeing a lot of comments in multiple communities here and there that a lot of those players that we were talking about, sure, this is gonna sound a little bit controversial, like they're they're like saying, okay, it's not that rewarding, it's so easy to get to Master Ball, and they kind of sound disappointed.
Yeah,
right?
but it should be.
Like,
it should be easy.
But I'm like, bro, weren't some of
It's
you
always
guys
been easy.
complaining about like it being hard? So I'm like,
Yeah.
are people
right.
just
no,
like
you're right.
never satisfied? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's definitely
So-
part of it. Yeah, people are going to complain regardless, no matter what's going on. That's certainly part of it.
I understand it, but like it's more or less like you guys mentioned, designed to get people into rank and designed so people could have the confidence in order to continue playing and try to get into that like next level, which would be top 10k. And again, that's
Yeah.
where that variety, because I've been seeing like some the strangest decks make it into Master Ball.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah, especially
crazy.
early. Yeah, low Master Balls.
Exactly.
Craziness. I think they should just say like screw it and just be like, we will give 1,000 hourglasses to top 100, and then we'll
Dude.
give. Yeah, and then we'll give 500 to top 1,000. Just
Bro,
like
it'd go
put the
nut.
rewards
There-
out there, dude, and just let the players go nuts for like what is probably $50 worth of hourglasses. In retrospect,
Yo.
not worth your time at all.
Yeah.
But like what the players would do would be nuts. Like it would be pretty funny.
Not worth your
Um,
time.
My-
Have you seen the unemployed at top 100?
There you go.
I was
Like-
gonna say the problem is if they did do something like that, it would be mass complaints because it's going to be like either it's bots or like Ericko said, the unemployed who are making it
Yeah.
to that top 100. So you would see nothing but flooded comments of the average person will never see these rewards. Why even have them in the game? And
Jay, we circle
it's a
back.
damned
but
if
it's,
you
but
do,
it's
damned
just
if you
it's
don't.
just
complain.
hourglasses.
never
Like
happy.
again,
right.
at the end of the day, you get what like 100 like 100 packs or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you could be the last place in Master Ball and still get your 20 packs. So it's not even that big of a difference. And like at the end of the day, like for those people who are unemployed, like that's fine. Like it gives them something to do. Like you have a
But,
job,
yeah.
so like you just make
You're-
that money in a couple hours. Like
If you're the
who cares?
Pokemon company, right? You're kind of in a situation where you're like, we're having less retention on our game because we have less things to do. So if we enable that whole situation where 1,000 hourglasses, like you mentioned, that would like increase the retention
And-
rate, and
dude.
that would look good on your company. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
you're just giving away virtual fake currency to people. So
well,
they're not.
yeah, man. Dude, the thing like retention rate is such an interesting thing because they bring that up, right? They're like, we have less players now than what we did a year ago, right? Which is like, yeah, obviously, like what like any game would, unless there's like a really big, update or anything that's changed. But like to me, like I genuinely still don't know if they care how many people are actually playing the game. I think what they care about is that the people that tuned in to open packs this month are no longer there in the following month, right? They don't come back for the next set. And to me, like the answer to that is to have the people be invested in what you're releasing. And the easiest way to have players be invested in these new cards is so that they can do things with them. And I've said this from the beginning, like Pokemon Pocket as just a pack opening simulator is just not enthralling enough of an experience to retain players. It's just not. Like for some people it is, but for the vast majority of people who played the game in that way, they no longer play the game. Nobody's going to sit here and just open packs every month for for almost 2 years. Maybe some people are, but that's why you're losing so many of your audience, right? So you have everything you need to make the game enjoyable and to have players invested in the cards you're releasing because there's something to do with them. And that to me is like the number one thing that I think they will realize probably maybe you know, I guess at this point it's
I
already
think
been too late, but
I think
but they,
that's what C series is. I think that's what we're looking forward to in come C
yeah,
series is it's going to be we have the cards now. Let's find fun ways to
yeah,
use them.
yeah. And I
While they
think,
continue
dude,
to add maybe smaller even in packs. I
and
don't know. I could see them going down in packs or pack sizes again this
I
year.
don't think you want to. Yeah, I don't think you want to stop the monthly cadence. Personally, that's a death sentence.
No,
Um,
absolutely not. But I
because
could see them going down though, as
I
opposed
could,
to where we're
yeah,
at.
you could release less cards. To be fair, half the cards they release are completely useless anyway. They're just junk,
Hmm.
right? They're just like random art on a card that's useless. But
I think. Go ahead, Manny. Finish your thought, but I'll come back to the what I
yeah,
want to say here.
no, I was gonna say I think you're right because if I look back to like the A series, it really to me feels like they just weren't really thinking about the game in that way. Other than maybe a couple of like sparse scenarios, like they just sort of released whatever, and they didn't really think too much about how it would impact the gameplay experience. At least that was
Greninja.
my experience for most of A series. And then what you would see is like just a bunch of garbage nonsense, and then they would drop the most broken thing of all time in there, as if they were like, "Here's a breadcrumb just for the people who are
Yeah,
interested in that." You know, here's a
in the
Giratina, here's a
meta.
Suicune.
Here's the meta
Right.
card.
Here's the tier 0 meta card, and B series has been more so like someone somewhere has like actual concept in mind of like, hey, like there's a structure here to the decks and whatnot. And it's weird because they do it sometimes. They like, do you remember when like Extra Dimensional Crisis came out,
It
which
was my
was,
favorite set because it was
dude,
thematic and like the whole thing worked
Yeah, it was the
together,
best
right?
set.
yeah, dude, like like they released all of these cards that competitively speaking, from a gameplay perspective, all fit together and they all made a lot of sense. Now, from like a revenue perspective, in terms of how many people like spent money on those packs, like I don't know how many people did realistically, because I don't know if they thought Ultra Beasts were that exciting. But yeah, from like a gameplay perspective, that set was nuts because every single thing they gave us was like, hey, we made this to play with, and you could tell immediately,
Yeah.
and it was really interesting. And they did the same kind of with Eevee as well, which I thought was like
Mhm.
kind of peak, one of the peaks of Pocket. The Eevee
It
Grow
felt like
set.
they wanted to with Arceus, but I think Arceus kind of fell flat. It's like they didn't have
Mm,
enough cards to fit the whole Arceus
yeah,
thing
you
and
could,
make
yeah,
it
you could
long
see
lasting.
they were like planned. They wanted it to be like they had that in mind.
Mm.
But it took them a little while to kind of get that fully fleshed out. Anyway, I just find it to be very interesting. And again, like we're on the outside looking in. I don't know anybody. I have no discussion with anybody at Dina or Pokemon, but it's funny to speculate on things, you know, just based around what we notice.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
maybe we're way off, you know, who knows? But
You know what's funny is I feel like this year I love to speculate. I love to theory craft, but I feel like this year my theory crafts have been close, but they've surprised me in mostly pleasant ways, I would say. Even like with Ray, right? Like I was saying for you guys probably even heard me say it for the longest time. I was saying I think we're gonna get Ray towards the end of the year, and then we get Ray. I was off about Primal Kyogre and Groudon though. I don't think we're gonna get it next month either.
bro, you telling me they're not going to give us?
They have
I
to.
don't think they're gonna do it. I don't
We're
think
in
they
the
are. I
Gen
don't know.
3.
Either I'm
Wow.
totally
We're in the
wrong.
Gen
Either
3 era.
here's
Got
my
Mega
here's my thought.
Sharpedo.
If they do, so
That's
it's either
crazy.
gonna be Team Rocket, right? I guess can we
That's
spoiler
the
alert?
rumor. I
Like,
have no idea if
yeah, I
that's
was gonna
true or
say
that's just what people
spoiler alert.
We don't know if it's
That's
gonna be a pack or it's gonna be an event.
like an
That's
event.
what I have like.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Could be a
troubling.
promo series, a promo event type thing. That would be cool. I'm happy with whatever, to be honest.
I'm
That's
just
a
happy to
great
see
point, dude.
more
By the way,
cards and
because
gameplay.
we were talking about Deluxe B. If Deluxe B comes out in the content drought of like not getting new cards, but like they could release that as like the set, and then have these like cool events that give us new cards in the way of not being like a traditional booster pack. Like that could be really fun.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, bro. Someone should hire you for that. They should be paying you because that was a money idea.
I need to see Dark Charizard. They say or a Team
Bro,
Rocket's
seriously,
Charizard.
I'm ready. You know what it was? I had this in the shower the other day. I thought of it the other day in the shower, and I even said like I'm gonna say this on the podcast, and I'm glad we're talking about it now. Armored Mewtwo. Do you think they could do that, or is that a movie like licensed character where it's like, because
It's
like in
all on the
Pokemon Go,
TCG.
they're
They
weird
have a
about
TCG.
it, right?
They have a
Yeah.
TCG Sword and
Yes,
Shield era.
yes, but
So
in it's a mobile game, so they have to do like weird licensing stuff for it, right? Like
because
in the
Dana's
card
involved,
game,
right?
they just license it once, and then it's a physical printed card, and that's it, right?
I think
But they're
Pokemon
not
owns the
reprinting
licenses
that.
for all that though. The
They
Pokemon company
do,
must own that.
but like so they own the license to Ash Ketchum, right? But we're never going to see an Ash Ketchum trainer card. It's just that you have to get special licensing privileges for Ash Ketchum. It's the same reason why like their other game,
Interesting.
Masters EX, they have one Ash Ketchum character that was like some one special anniversary tie-in celebration, and
Like,
Yeah.
there's
to
always
get 'em
forum posts. They drop the most broken character, and then people always ask, "Is it coming back? When's it coming back?" And they say never, because they'll
Yeah.
never get the licensing for it again. It was too expensive. It
Yeah.
was a one-time thing.
No, I
And
think,
they're never gonna
dude,
rebuy it to resell an old unit.
yeah, Armored Mewtwo's a crazy pull. That would be insane. But even just like the Dark Charizard, like the light and dark
Yeah.
Pokemon from the I think it was like the third series of cards, like the gym challenge, gym leader era, even maybe into like Neo, the Neo
Gym
series
Heroes,
stuff.
Neo Genesis, yeah.
Yeah, Neo, which to me was like, there's a couple eras, and like this is where they go from here. Like you could even throw in like some crazy e-reader, weird throwback type stuff. You could do one thing I would love is like Delta species, right? Like if you want people to just be hyped about to open packs, like that's the stuff you got to do. You got to bring us a dark Charizard, a shining Charizard. You got to give us a Misty, Starmie and
Can I get my error
Delta
Typhlosion?
species,
The Delta
whatever. Yeah, dude.
species Typhlosion that's psychic, so we could
Yes,
pair it
dude.
with Giratina.
Yeah, man.
So-
like that's how you get people to just be like, yeah, I'll give you money to open these packs. You know what I mean?
I kind of brought it up last week, Matt. I don't think you're here for it, but if they do go on with like this upcoming supposed Team Rocket theme pack, or however they're going to do this Team Rocket event, if it ends up being a pack, this could maybe be a good chance for them to drop like Mega Mewtwo, right? Or like a Mewtwo.
Yeah. Mewtwo's Team Rocket focus
Mega
typically.
Mewtwo, I guess, right? We're missing the Mega Mewtwo, so I figured like this could be a good chance to drop a Mewtwo.
Dude, don't even come at me with that Mega Mewtwo business. I totally forgot Mega Mewtwo wasn't in the game, dude. I'm surprised. I
Two of
wonder,
them too,
dude.
right?
How is that not in the game?
In the game yet? Yeah,
That's
One of
so
the few
crazy,
megas
dude.
that we're missing, right? Other than
Yeah.
that, besides ZA, excluding ZA, that's like one.
We're
of
getting
the,
close.
Well, ZA Megas are probably gonna be a while still, because they're
getting
again like a
close.
weird licensing
Mega
thing.
Banate is what we're
licensing thing.
missing.
We're missing Mega Salamence.
Mega
Missing
Salamence.
Salamence.
Dude, Mega Aerodactyl is gonna be so sick. A
Aerodactyl,
Mega Fossil is
Aggron.
gonna be the best game in the game, or best
Bro,
thing in the
that's
game.
such a good point, dude. A basic or a stage 1 Mega Fossil would be
It'd be so good.
sick. It would be super cool. There's a lot of stuff, man. I think still that they could do. Yeah, Mewtwo's a big one, dude. I forgot about.
Yeah.
Mega
And they-
Mewtwo, dude.
They have
I'm terrified.
XY.
I thought about
Yeah,
that about
X and Y.
I thought that about Lucario, dude. I was like, when's Lucario coming? Like they really kind of like held the brakes on Lucario for a while. I was like, dude, how do we not have it yet?
Yeah.
They did give us Gardevoir and Gengar right before that, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I was
They
like,
can't drop all
listen,
the bangers in one shot.
right, and of course Mega Ray is like possibly one of the bigger bangers, right? So yeah, it does interesting, and I wonder. I think they probably will just carry like Mega Pokemon through. I would imagine, into the C series, which is fine. It doesn't have to be like the only thing, but they have to. You can't just stop doing Megas without all of the Megas. But at some point, they're gonna run out of Megas. So maybe they're thinking, maybe we'll just try to start spacing things out a bit more. Maybe introduce, like you said, like the Team Rocket stuff or whatever. A lot of potential there. A ton of potential. Could be really, really cool. Could tie into like supporters, different supporter cards, different artworks. Imagine like a full art, Misty's whatever, or Team Rocket's,
Oh,
what
I can't
Giovanni's
wait.
Persian,
Yeah.
and they're both on the card, and it's it could be like really cool. It could be one of the cooler things they've ever done. There's infinite potential for Pocket. It's really fun to speculate. Again, just give us more game modes and we're
It
chilling.
was like Dina's tipping their hat to me at the end of this whole B series. They're like, all right, we're gonna give a Mega Ray, and then we're gonna follow it up with a Team Rocket. We'll give him the Giovanni full art. We'll just spoil Jay with everything he wants at the end of B series here. So
I feel like-
I've been really happy with what we've been getting with cards.
Yeah.
And we got Dragon support. We got to remember, we could finally, it's been 2 years, we got
Bro,
real
I can't
Dragon
wait.
support in the
Now they
game.
gotta
Going
be
forward.
careful with that. They gotta be careful with what they release.
Yeah.
Dragon. They can't really. They release
Yeah.
something insane. Dragon's Cave is right there. Or
Dude,
Rainbow's
it's almost
Cave.
like they've been careful. They've been overly careful for 2
Yeah.
years releasing no good Dragon Pokemon.
It did feel like that first week. It felt like we had like a whole new typing added to the game. It was. I was kind of. I think the whole community was kind of blinded by dragons, because like the first 4 or 5 days of tournaments was like Mega Ray.
Yeah,
now-
well, it's
now
good.
my
It's
brain-
still
running
good
Mega
too.
Ray.
It's survived. It is a meta viable option still at this point in
Yeah,
the season.
too,
which is cool.
exactly.
Wait a minute,
Um,
my brain just like kind of exploded from this whole conversation for rank, because the rise of Oricorio is here. Why the fuck are we not playing the double Drampa? Yeah, the gouging fire needs like 3 energy to attack. You get the Sada.
I've been
You could use
swapping
just
between
2.
them.
You could just use
Mhm.
2 random energy and then just start swinging for 70. That's actually
Bro,
such
Drampa's
a good
way
meta.
faster too. You see
Yeah,
him attack
you
like
lose to gouging
way
fire.
faster.
That's why you don't play Drampa.
You do
'cause
lose
you
to gouging fire.
But
That's
nobody's
exactly why
nobody's really
gouging fire
playing
became a
gouging
thing.
fire right now.
People are playing gouging fire. I guarantee you. I'll tell you right now, people are playing it. I
I'm
guarantee
I'm
people are
actually
playing it.
gouging fire.
All right,
Yeah.
my bad.
tell
I
you.
sidetracked the whole thing because I
It's-
felt like
it's-
Trumpa was like a good meta call with the Ori. I've been
is.
thinking Ori. I
Over the
hate this
last-
card.
over the last 3 days, because we do have this data available on pocketmats.com. Shameless plug, go check it out. So gouging fire is still the second. Rickways is the third most played deck, tied with Hoopa and Vespiquen at 5%. So it's not tier. It's not it's not above it. Like Lucario is that guy this season. He's the 10% meta share, most played thing, which is an interesting thing to talk about because I also do want to talk about how the fall of Altaria, the default kind of best mega Pokemon that we had for so long. It's just Lucario now, and basically Lucario is the new Altaria, and I find that to be quite interesting. But yeah, no, I mean Mega Ray's still seeing. It's only 5% of the meta though, like you said. So I mean, how often are you going to be hitting the other, Mega Ray deck if you are playing Drampa? So
I know you're getting statistical with this, but
yes,
also sleep scam is kind of like I am not gonna talk about it in a perspective where everybody's like emotional about that deck, but I'm gonna talk about it as more or less that deck sucks.
it's
Like,
not good. It's not that great.
Which
I've been
which
playing
one though?
I've said this for months.
either
I really have.
or. Did you send a Iggly buff? I got my Hoopa just like getting a free point and doing 20 damage on a
Yep.
Darkrai I could Cyrus in so
I-
I could buy more time to like wreck.
Hoopa was a big deal for the sleep
Yeah.
stuff. I will say though, if you're playing baby Pokemon and you're not playing sleep, it does just feel kind of stupid because Iggly buff Darkrai going first will just mow down your baby Pokemon before you can even do anything. So like that feels bad. But yeah, I mean with Hoopas running around and really every deck playing bench damage and whatnot, like I genuinely think that sleep just hasn't really been that great, other than for short periods of time where it becomes popular and some people win with it. But
Wait, now get this. Hydreigon is playing Hoopa now as a one of. It's kind of
yeah, it
crazy.
should. That's how you win. Yeah, Zoroark was doing it. I felt bad for Hydreigon because I was like, man, like you got mogged hard. Like that nobody's playing you. Like that's just not a relevant deck really. So
It's
yeah, if
Pocket
you want to play
Mad's
dark,
mascot. Your
Dude.
tournament series mascot.
brother, like Hydreigon really was. It fell off
Peak.
quick. Like it was tier 0, like in the Ice Pop,
Era.
sort of era. Which still Ice Pop's everywhere now, but it's like there was a time where there just really wasn't anything worth playing at all if it wasn't Ice Pop Hydreigon.
Jay, I don't know
Um,
how you were casting those days. Just seeing Hydreigon and Hydreigon and
bro.
Hydreigon, I would have gone crazy.
There were some low points in this B series. We talk about how good B series was, but I guess I will
was
say
the
there
down.
was some low points. There
that
was
was the
like
low-
Magnezone. Magnezone put me to sleep on Ericko's during Ericko's tournament. That was how boring. that
was it
Magnezone
Magmaridon, you
versus
mean?
Magnezone? Yeah, no, pre-Maridon.
No.
It was just Magnezone.
The Ori
Magnezone.
Mags.
Magcorio?
Yeah.
When was that?
Yeah, I remember it was.
It was when the 130
Magnezone
came out
Oricorio.
for the first time.
Oh, the mirror
It
shot?
was really yeah.
Well, the mirror
Yeah,
shot
that's
and
true.
then the EX came out.
Yeah. No,
But
you're
it was
right.
so
You're
boring.
right. That
It was
was
so boring. It was
Yeah.
just like the most repetitive. Like you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna Lissia, they're gonna Clement, they're gonna Volt Charge, and
When we
you know,
get
the
to
only
like
interesting
a
part of the game, I guess,
linear
came to the
deck is
potential
annoying.
coin flip at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maridon helps spice it up, but it still is one of those decks where I'm just like, I just more so hate. Like I hate playing against it now because it's it's pretty brain dead to play. I would say for the most part, you're just throwing the cards that light up for a good degree of the
Yeah,
deck.
no, it's
Charge up energy, blow up the
Right.
board with Maridon.
yeah, there's
Mhm.
always instances where things get a little iffy in terms of
Again,
So
Maridon really kind of helps spice it up, but it still is.
Yeah, it's-
ugh.
What's interesting is like if you do look at the metagame right now, like over the last 3 days, most of the most played decks are actually genuinely new archetypes, right? Like Dark Hoopa Gouging Fire, Rayquaza, Vespiquen, and Mega Sharpedo are all within the top 5 most played decks, which is crazy. That
Yeah.
again, we're 2 weeks in, and at that snapshot in time, between August 11th and August 14th, like those are the most played decks, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Most new things like that are popular in the first day, couple days, maybe the week, and then it kind of normalizes to like what is really the best. And I think a lot of the new cards they released in the set are genuinely strong. Even the things that maybe didn't get off to a hot start, like Sharpedo, right? Or Hoopa. Like Hoopa's where it is, like despite what happened early this season. I don't think people remember like Vespiquen winning every tournament for the first week. Like it just didn't lose because it was all Hoopa. People were playing Dark. In fact, people were playing Hydreigon and Zoroark before just the Dark Hoopa stuff because of the Needle came out. So Dark got buffed. People were hyped about it. And then Vespiquen stomped everybody. And then somehow we're here. And Hoopa's still a top tier meta strategy. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
I've had a roller coaster of emotions with Hoopa this season.
Dude, it's
where
so good, dude. It
started, I saw the card, I was like, oh! And then it came out, and I'm like, wait, maybe this isn't so good, just because like the reality of playing it, where I think everybody just immediately was like, nope, counter Hoopa. Who was the card we need to counter?
Yeah.
And so like the Vespiquen was instant. It felt like there was just like never a chance for Hoopa to breathe for that first couple days.
Yeah, it won the first
now,
like 5 tournaments. Vespiquen did, and it was like
and then it got worse, right? Like whereas all you were seeing was Vespiquen.
Because the rise of Lucario, though.
Yeah, and then Lucario was like, "Wait a minute, I'm here." Yeah. Shout out! I can deal with Hoopa and Vespiquen and Rayquaza all in one, so at least somewhat well, even though I think it does have losing matchups into. I think Lucario is sub 50 into Hoopa and Rayquaza, but I could be wrong about that. But
no, Lucario loses to the Gouging Fire.
It is
pretty hard because the 100 damage is kind of, and it takes minus 30 after it swings. So
if you look at the if you look at the win rate data, it's kind of staggering. Like it's weird how and people do hop on particular trends properly, but like if you look at the most popular meta decks right now, and I was thinking about this the other day, like Sceptile beats almost all of it, like pretty well. Like Sceptile, Greninja will beat Lucario, it beats Hoopa, it beats Mega Ray, it beats Hoopa Greninja, and it beats like Manectric. Like it beats almost all of the most played decks right now. It's very interesting. I'm surprised we haven't seen Sceptile just sort of really kind of take over. Yeah, but Vespiquen, I guess, is pretty similar, except it just kind of loses to Lucario. It's like Vespiquen's crazy strong.
It's like we go back into that like circle of life type of thing,
Yeah. I mean,
Charizard too has been one.
Charizard's coming in, dude. Charizard's coming in
more so than Blaziken I've seen this season.
It's because it can beat Lucario. Like, it's it's like, hey, like I hit hard too, but I can live a hit from you and you can't, and it's like checkmate.
And Charizard and Lucario are both both cards where it's just like, okay, well, what, like in a lot of decks, I don't know, Hoopa included, I feel like when I'm playing Hoopa, it's so back and forth where it's just like sometimes I can't do anything. I feel so powerless once that Lucario comes out with the 3 energy, and it's just like, what do I do? I failed to get it within KO range after or before I hit 3 energy, and now it's just the train is here. How do I stop the train?
Right.
I'm gonna get 2-shot.
People don't give Charizard enough credit, quite frankly. It's one of the more healthy cards like in the game. Like, and I said it a while back. I was like, this card will stand the test of time just because, it's gonna be good into like so many mega Pokemon decks. Like traditionally, Charizard beats almost all mega based deck lists just because it lives hits and when it KOs megas. But into like most things that aren't mega, like it does lose to it. So it's such a weird. It's it's like the opposite of Oricorio in a way, in terms of like its impact. But it's good, and it's actually one of the most played decks this past week, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say I've definitely ran into it a bunch. Ericko, that might be why we're starting to see a whole rise of Oricorios. It's just maybe a way to try to counter the Charizard.
Yeah, like again, Charizard is pretty easy to beat. But if people aren't playing those decks, then play Charizard. Everything's got a counter. Everything can beat anything. It's an interesting world that we live in now, for sure.
Yeah, no. The one thing that I want to talk about that Ori choreo that everybody's playing now. Like it, Greninja Altaria is now playing like air balloons. It's playing hiking trail. It's playing a one of the new Ori choreo that discards a card, attack for 50. Like I don't know. What are we doing? Are we hurting our consistency here? Because like I think you would want to play more consistency cards to see your Greninja pop off and your Altarias in hand. Not. I mean, I know hiking trail helps with that, but like, are we really replacing egg? Or I mean, I don't know.
Brother.
Egg and the thing just seems bad.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen Altaria to begin with this.
there's a flash in
I
the
think
pan
there's-
decks all the time. It's
Yeah.
it's easy to kind of to play something and for it to do exceptionally well, like in a short burst, right, and then prove itself to maybe not be that relevant in the greater scheme of things. Altaria is a good card though. Like you got to understand, like Altaria is a strong card, and there's no shortage of strong psychic Pokemon. If anyone's playing Altaria and not playing Sleep, I'm totally cool with it because there really is a pretty significant absence of psychic Pokemon in the game. Um, although I did run into Gardevoir Diancie and got cooked, got absolutely smoked because I didn't draw my Cyrus, and I was like, that's tough.
I mean, Hoopa plays a big influence to this right now.
Yes. Well, yeah, definitely. Hoopa's.
Oh, they play
dude,
Bonsly. I'm sorry. So this is the list.
Yeah.
They're running one Bonsly, one Mega Altaria, one Oricorio with the super natural feather, 50 discard a card from your hand.
Yeah.
If
Psychic
not,
Oricorio.
doesn't do anything. And then we got a small balloon, hiking trail. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
don't you want to match
That Oricorio is
your...
crazy in general. Like, that's just a super strong card. I've been playing a ton of Chandelure. It's one of my favorite decks.
I get
Less so now. Lucario was everywhere early on.
Okay, now I am starting to understand the concept. Is like, discard as many cards as possible, so you could, end up drawing your Altaria and your pieces for Greninja. So you, essentially, yeah, it's kind of speeding up the deck. But
Yeah.
I still think
Makes Copycat stronger too, right? By removing cards from hand and then being able to bounce back with Copycat. It's just a really strong card. 50 damage is 50 damage. I don't care who you are. Like, that's gonna do it in a lot of times. That's why, dude, Hitmonchan. I've been a big lover of Hitmonchan EX over the last week or so. I think that card is actually really good right now. Not just Hitmonchan EX, dude. Let me just hit you in the face for 50.
I've been seeing it.
Good luck, like
Yeah.
it's actually really, really good. Like I just think that at least in the meta right now, it does feel like you can kind of just have a Hitmon there for like 3 turns, and then it's just like, here's Lucario, like have a good time. It's
I don't know what it
funny.
is. Handling like even in 80 HP Venusaur or Ivysaur, excuse me, going against Venusaur just like earlier today, I felt powerless. I'm like, didn't we used to like clear the 80 HP no problem? Like that was
they were
it
faster
felt so
decks.
easy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I guess we're doing little less damage, but I don't even know how like the damage has kind of shifted compared to where it was.
It's
kinda
early
weird,
game.
right?
It's early game spread in most decks. You're playing like Pheromosa, you're playing Hoopa, you're playing Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, whatever. I don't know. Name your deck, right? It's like early game chip damage, or in a lot of decks, and then it leads into like a turn 3 or turn 4 like Mega.
Yeah.
That can come in big. So there's some differences to that. Like Suicune is still sort of the exception to that because like its big hitter is a bench hitter in Qianpao, which is always unique. Like Oricorio Magnezone is like a slower deck, but it just doesn't care because you're playing Oricorio. Like Mega Ray is also interesting. Like that's why the Gouging Fire deck is strange to me, is because like you're kind of setting up like 3 strong Pokemon. Like there's not. It's a very straightforward deck in the sense that it's like, I'm just gonna hit you for a lot of damage. Like I'm just gonna keep hitting the active and hope that that's kind of enough to win. Which if you're strong enough, like that is a very fine strategy. Think about Charizard, right? Like Charizard and Entei, right? Like that Entei is like hitting for 60, I think, on like turn 2, sometimes turn 3, right? So it's like that's not that strong. The payoff's at the very end when you have the Charizard. So that's one of those unique examples. But like Lucario, when you're playing Hitmonchan, like you go immediately from 50 damage attacks to the active into a Mega Lucario in the back, like almost seamlessly. But there's not a lot of high roll. There's not a lot of turn 2 rare candy high roll type stuff. There's no high Dragon. Sceptile does kind of exist, but it's not really about getting your attacker, ready and rolling on turn 2. There's just not that much of that in the metagame. And Venusaur always lost to that type of stuff, right? It lost to just kind of turn 2 rare candy, get bopped, It's not really a thing anymore, which is crazy.
Yeah, nah. Quick side note, I was looking at Limitless, and I just noticed at the bottom they started implementing codes as well in their deck list.
Really?
Oh, do they get QR codes
Okay.
on Limitless?
I just click on one of the deck lists of whatever, and then just
It automatic. Hold on, this is kind of cool.
I don't know
if it open as image. Oh yeah, it is there.
I don't know if
do those work?
I haven't tested it.
Oh.
I gotta let D-Shook know. That's pretty funny.
You could probably start
really
utilizing for tomorrow.
Hold on.
Pocket Mats tournament.
All right. Well, we gotta wrap things up because I've gotta go overhaul my OBS.
No, that's really nice. We've had the codes for a little bit on PocketMets.com, but it's always sort of after the fact, right?
Yeah,
this you could have an active tournament. Yeah, like during a tournament.
Stream. Kind of sucks though because this means more clicking for me. I don't know. We'll see if I'm gonna actually.
You can download the QR code as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can actually download the QR code and put that up next to the deck list, but it's gonna be.
Dude, casting is gonna be like revolutionary now.
It's funny how the codes look. It's like a typical barcode, which is different than how the codes look in the game, which is why I'm.
Dude, I can't wait till one of those QR codes is just a monkey that's going like this. Somebody scans it. I don't know.
No, that's cool. That's a really big thing. Since the QR codes came to the game, it's definitely one of the better improvements. I think. Like
it made life easier. So many people it was so time consuming looking for cards, and especially if you didn't have it, like one of,
Yeah. If I highlight a deck in a video, like I just pull up the code. I'm like, there you go. Have fun with that.
I'm excited to see how Jay's gonna implement this in tomorrow's event. No pressure.
Potentially implement it. We'll see. I don't know.
Nah, it does sound like a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie, because you could just download 2 little JPEGs, open them up, and then boom, they're there, right? And then now you gotta account for 2 more.
Well, I just have to make room for. I mean, it's double the clicking for me, which it's already a lot of clicking, but I have to make more room too, and I don't know how.
Yeah, maybe you don't really. It's tough. Like maybe you. I don't know if it's worth it pulling them up in real time, honestly, because how quickly are the codes up on the screen for that long? Like really not that long. And then you have to swap them for new decks, especially in Swiss or whatever. It's not really something I would even worry that much
It might
about.
be a top 4 type thing. Exactly. I mean, I want to find a way where I can do it. If I want to do it, I can have it up there somehow. But I don't know if it's going to be okay, I'm going to do it and focus on this for every single match. Especially when we're just running the same decks over and over, right? It's oh, Suicune Chen Pao. You guys need the QR code for Suicune Chen Pao?
Yeah,
that's this one.
That's the thing I always joke about too. Is here's the code, even though everyone watching this has this deck already in their game. Because some decks really don't change or haven't changed for a very long time, which isn't a bad thing, but it is funny. It's certainly funny. Early on in the season though, it was really nice. Be like, hey, here's this new Mega Rayquaza cook. there's the code. Just put it, there you go. Although it is important, I suspect, when you're building a deck, to understand how the deck is built. When you're putting the cards in, you're like, oh, okay, and we have a field blower. Okay, for this reason. Now it's people just don't even probably look at the deck. They just build it and play, and they don't even know what's in their own deck, which is pretty funny. But
well, I mean, that's why they got us. We can make content and tell them
there
why.
You go.
If you guys found it funny, the tech cards of the season, just always rotating X Speed, such a OG card, making a bigger popularity run than Air Balloon, and it's just Field Blower is just nasty overall. It's just I just wonder next set, obviously we don't know what's coming out, see how that could all change, and X-Speed has been one of these cards that fluctuates in and out of the format, because it's one of those cards. It's good, but it's not always good in this meta, because got better cards.
You see Greninja? I think
Yeah.
Greninja EX and Suicune is actually pretty cool with Soothing Shore.
Swapping.
Like I think it,
Yeah.
I think it does fit pretty well with like Irida and Soothing Shore. You can kind of play like a bounce around water type deck, and you could probably do that with something that's not even a
Dude,
Suicune.
170 HP too.
I know, dude.
It's
There's a
insane.
lot of potential like for those types of decks that I just don't think we see that much of. If we ever did get like a water type Pokemon like an Absol that could rip Cyrus out of the deck, it would be absurd because you'd be able to like swap around, heal all your Pokemon, go into a high HP Pokemon, maybe rip the Cyrus out of their hand, you know, and then just sort of like never have to worry about any of that. That could be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Water, you know, but I do think it's cool because Sharpedo is a very unique Pokemon, and it's really nice to see sort of an engine that can really well utilize Gyarados Wild Swing, which was kind of a fringe meta card for a while. Kind of a unique effect as well. I know Vespiquen does it now, and it's broken, but like being able to discard those Pokemon from your bench like is generally really, really good. That's an effect that is always good, and Sharpedo does that with Gyarados really well. Again, it's honestly probably the top. I don't even know. It's maybe a top 5, top 8, 6, 7 deck right now. And then of course Vespiquen does it, and those are really unique effects, right? Like that's it's just a cool thing, that's in the game. You know, there's a lot of diversity in gameplay, which is not something to downplay.
I
Really,
will say
a lot
though,
of the
the Sharpedo has like an endless like ceiling right now because like the way it ramps up energy for your bench, like water Pokemon that come out with like high energy costs in order to swing is gonna be easy to set up, and of course they'll probably have like more gimmicks to like get their engine running, but like it's not like that hard. Essentially, you're playing with maybe 3 Sharpedos in your deck, because the 2 Wallaces, and it's just
yeah.
like, pretty cool.
Yeah, Wallace is a crazy card. I'm a bit terrified of the prospect of Wallace. Like
That card
it,
Yeah,
makes me
that's
it's
a
want
Pandora's
it's
box
it's
type card.
I was like, this card's crazy, and then they were like, here's Mega Sharpedo. I'm like, what the hell? I thought Mega Sharpedo was going to be absurd, and it is really good. But again, it's a bit restrictive, and it goes to show like how much retreating a Mega Pokemon is just generally not a winning strategy in most
Yeah,
games.
it really is. That's what I
Unless
thought too, Maddie. Is like
you could
when
discard it,
Mega
right?
Sharpedo first dropped, it seemed like it was.
Dude, they wanted
I don't
us
know.
to
It seemed
play
like it was gonna be
Soothing
super
Shore with
broken.
this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um.
I mean, it is really good. It's Lightning does exist, Oricorio exists, and also Cyrus does exist. So it's like,
Mhm.
and 70 damage is a really good number. But if you don't get the turn 1 Wallace, it's not that crazy, right? Like there's other decks that go turn 2, 130. Like if you're Hydreigon, so it's like it's pretty balanced in that sense where you have a lot of HP, you can go turn 170. You have free retreat, like it's strong, right? But you're not going to win a game only with Sharpedo most of the time.
No,
So it is
it's
somewhat
set up
balanced.
Pokemon for sure.
Yeah, but it's a really good card, and again, it's
Takes out
crazy.
most basics.
Yeah, I know for sure. And again, it did come in at a time where Hoopa came in, where it was like, hey, like I do live 2 hits,
Yeah,
and I'm
and
two
I
ice
back
run
to
up
the
pops.
bench too.
With two
yeah,
ice
and I run
pops.
double Cyrus, yeah. So it's for sure. I do, I do feel that. But yeah, no, I mean, I think there's just, dude, it's incredible how they're able to include like so many new cards that feel new, they feel fresh, and are just really good. It's crazy. Like I genuinely never thought Pocket would get to that level of complexity and development from like a gameplay metagame perspective. But I mean, I'm better off for it.
Especially in
We
just
all
a
are.
year too, or I guess 2 years at this point.
I know. And then when I first saw Megas, I was like, oh, they're just going to be big, like beat stick Pokemon, and maybe they'll kind of build packages around these Megas that are more interesting, right? Because like Blaziken was like very, simple. Altaria was very simple. Like these were just like generally good, like simple Pokemon that just did damage. But they've gone kind of out of their way to be pretty creative with it. And the other thing as well that I always love to speculate, and it's one of my favorite trends of the B series, is the development of the types and their packages, right? Like, and that goes into like the identity of that type, right? So when you're playing a fire type deck, like you have Victini, you have Flame Patch, like you have, Ignite Charmeleon, like you have Entei, like so it's like every type has that sort of collection of type specific cards that are like kind of unique to that type, right? Now, like water, you have Irida. You do have Misty, even though it's not that common. Like you have Soothing Shore, You have inflatable boat, right? So it's like water type has like an identity based around those package cards. We saw that really heavily with grass. Like grass has just a broken support package around it, right? With leaf cape and extract and fragrant forest. So it's like it's cool, and I hope they continue to like develop that around the types. I do think some of those are just way too good. Like dark is just too good. I don't know why we have Darkrai and
Steel, the
Needle.
super defensive. It needs a buff.
Yeah, Steel's got some really interesting cards. To be fair, I think they could use a stadium maybe.
We're gonna get a stadium that ends up doing like you take 10 less damage as the stadium's on the field.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
Like, each attack,
that's
you'll
literally
take 10
what
less.
this. Yeah, that's what the Steel Stadium will be, which might go a long way. To be fair,
And then Mawile is gonna be everywhere for the first week.
Well, I mean, dude, it could get crazy if you start stacking that. I mean, you stack 10 with the helmet, or 20 with the helmet, 10 with the stadium, and like maybe
you got
30 with the Pokemon itself. I mean, like look at Ice-Q, right? And if it's something where you can use it just outside of Steel, if everybody could use it, bro, Ice-Q has been like a hidden sleeper this season, especially with the Soothing Shore. His little take 40 less damage from attacks will come back into effect. As like if you take health or take damage and you're not at full health, you lose the ability. If you can get back to full health, that ability comes back into effect. So like you can essentially stay taking 50 less or 40 less damage, potentially 50 less damage from each attack, which could be really cool. I'd like to play it.
Yeah. It would be a fun video idea, like the many colors of Pokemon Pocket and like going into depth about like the identity that the types have. Like lightning, you have electric. I mean, you have Oricorio, which kind of is the identity, but I don't even count it. Like to me, the lightning type is like electric generator, electrical cord, Zero Aura. Like it's all about just like rapid early game energy, pumping and just like crazy pacing, right? It's fun. Like it's just cool. It's a cool thing to see. Sort of that's like one of the things that wasn't really around much before the B series. You know what I mean? Like like it was like, are you playing Giratina or are you playing Suicune? But now it feels to me like the types are kind of becoming a bit more individual in their feel, which is cool.
Dude, water packages are insane.
A lot of them are crazy though.
Fucking Misty's broken.
Forest too is obnoxious, bro.
What is
Forest ability? The fragrant forest.
Fragrant
being
Forest
able to just pull a card. That's so
the best
good.
stadium in the game.
Grass
Literally
has the
really
best
is.
support in the game.
It does. I think so because Leaf Cape, Fragrant Forest is just such a benefit. Like it doesn't even matter what's going on. Like you've seen like pretty average grass Pokemon just be like top meta because it's like, I have Forest, I got Leaf Cape, like I have Extract, like
I got the best
I'm just
support.
better. My deck's just better. Yeah.
You got
I don't
multiple variants.
You have Erica?
Ways you could build 50 HP for anything.
Fighting? We haven't even talked about fighting. Fighting's got Arena, it's got Corina, which I guess is it, right?
That's pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of it. Their arena
which is
training
like
combo, which they always
good,
have every single time. Yeah.
You can do plus 50, like that's a pretty big deal.
Added Lucario now to the buff Lucario that everybody's running, and you're doing an
That's
additional,
true, and you have fighting,
80 damage a turn.
And fighting coach Lucario. So you have basically 70 extra damage floating around. 90 technically if you were playing double fighting coach. Fighting's broken. I always tell people like, you can have your cute effects. You can be an absolute EX. You could be whatever, but like I'd rather just hit you for 200 damage and you. That's kind of a better way to win in my mind. Lucario is like the
Psychic got
example.
Dawn.
It did, dude. Psychic has been.
Dawn is the universal card, but it's the only real.
I think they've probably been deliberate to not give Psychic anything too crazy. Because
Mega Alakazam's coming too.
But we do got
I think Mega Alakazam's going to probably go with that new Psychic card that just came out, which is kind of a cool card, right? Is that not so? That's
cool.
that's technically is it Psychic the person, right? It's a trainer, not necessarily
it's that trainer class.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
not
a trainer,
not the move,
Psychic.
Right? I was gonna say, when are they going to give us like TM cards? They can do that too, right? Where we get TMs.
TMs are a common tool. They're a type of tool card that are in the official Pokemon TCG that give you like an additional move that you can basically slap onto your Pokemon, which are pretty cool.
Fucking slap Hyper
Psychic
Beam. 150 damage.
Oh yeah.
So
seven
hold
energy.
On. So Psychic. What does Psychic do?
You move the energy.
Which one?
From
moves
move a random energy from one of their benched Pokemon to their active Pokemon. So requires the active Pokemon though to have a specific attack name named Psychic. So I don't know. Are all attacks based off of how many energy that are attached? Is that what the psychic attacks
For
normally are
the
about?
psychic it's yeah, they're all based off of it's like an
How many?
Indeedee. Indeedee has psychic.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, and I never really paid any attention to like the names of the attacks. So that's one that kind of went over
See,
my head
that's what I was
originally.
thinking too. Is like it's kind of cool that that's kind of what they're doing now. Is they're focusing on the name of the attacks more so. It's not necessarily
Dude,
like a
some
TM yet,
attacks
but
are
they're focusing on
insane
the
for new
attacks.
cards. I don't know if you guys been reading. They've been like, it feels like I'm reading a sentence for some of these
Yeah.
attacks.
Yeah.
For
They're
the
getting
newer
there,
cards.
bro.
They're getting a bit specific. Yeah, you're right though. Like Alakazam could be like a stage 2, 2 energies, you know,
The
80
mega.
damage, 20 more for every energy on your opponent's active Pokemon or
Mhm.
whatever, and you're like, pretty good. You know, could have 210 HP. You know, could have free retreat. You know, like it's pretty easy to kind of make something like that, and have it be pretty significant. It'd be fun to play with Psychic. Psychic's a very interesting card. It's such a weird card, but an interesting one for sure. It's almost like it's kind of meant to counteract Dark in a way, which
Well,
helps to
it's
set up their
good.
bench.
It's good. Or like Lucario too. I think I don't even remember who I was watching. I think it might have even been Rosie who was playing it, but she was
Yeah, Lucario as well.
playing against Lucario, and they were, Lucario loves to just sit on the bench, load up 3 energy on Lucario, and then
You
try
just
to
keep moving it
steamroll
to the
you.
active. It is,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
exactly. So
funny.
you kind of stall him long enough to do what you need to, I guess. But either way, it was kind of it was interesting because I didn't even think of using it that way more so, where I'm just like, okay,
Right.
so I have to like
Yeah,
set
it's
up a
more of a
weird
control.
attack, and it didn't seem
Yeah.
that great. But yeah, when I'm controlling the bench energy, it's actually kind of good. It's
Now, I will
guaranteed
say
to. You don't
one
have to flip a
thing.
coin.
You are playing against fighting with Psychic in that Lucario example. Like, I mean, that
Right.
deck already gets destroyed
Yeah.
by.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like the fighting decks the meta fighting decks are weak to Psychic. Like even Great Tuscaridon. Like so now, like, and that used to not be the case. If you remember, like all relative or relevant like fighting type decks were actually just weak to Grasp. But now, yeah, they're all just weak to Psychic, which should and I think that could be a really interesting next kind of way to go. Maybe Mewtwo or Mega Mewtwo or Team Rocket or whatever. Like I do think like the next buff right now, like appropriately might even be Psychic, which is crazy to say, but the Psychic type could be well positioned right now for an upgrade and a resurgence, which would be quite interesting. We do have plenty of Dark in the game to keep it in check, fundamentally speaking. But yeah, man, it's that you have opened up my mind. I never thought of like Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo and stuff. That would completely.
So, and I guess Maddie, to elaborate on it, I kind of brought this up last week too. If they do like the Team Rocket set, and like again, seems like a more than perfect opportunity for them to give us Mega Mewtwo. They could then for future sets maybe do like a Team Megma, Team Aqua, and have that be where Kyogre and Groudon come from, right?
Oh, dude, a Magma. Jay, let's hold the phone here. Let's back it up because we still need our Gen 5 set.
Bring the hopes down a little bit.
Let's back up a minute here. I'm not asking for anything before I get a Unova Gen 5 set. Like I don't care. Get out of here.
This is another thing too, where like what's gonna happen here? So we have the anniversary coming up after, well, in 2 months, I guess, right? So we have this mini set and then the anniversary coming up after that.
Is it true?
Do
October. It's October.
Okay, so I guess hold on. Is it confirmed that we're not getting? We're only getting one mini set here, and then that's it, right? Is it confirmed, or is this still just a rumor?
It's not confirmed, but theoretically speaking, what would happen is we get the mini set, and then a month goes by, and then we get Deluxe B. That's if we were to follow the same trajectory. But then that again, if you do that cadence, it leads you about a month and a half until the anniversary, which is where the dark ages begin once again. Hopefully not, but that's what would happen.
Right now, but
unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if that's the case though. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to my Ice Pop Golden crown. That's all I'm saying.
Everyone's
I was just about to say, I guess this is almost a perfect time to bring it up, and if you guys are maybe watching this and wondering, should you spend on Deluxe A versus Deluxe B? I was trying to theorize, like, what's the best possible thing that we could get in Deluxe B to rival Gold Crown Rare Candy, right? It's either going to be Gold Crown...
Alternate
what's
Cyrus.
Alternate Cyrus?
That's true.
That could be it.
Yeah, we do need a Sabrina and Cyrus alternate art because, remember, Lily got one in... Was it Deluxe or was it even Deluxe? Lily has an alternate. Maybe
Deluxe
even
A.
like a new full art research in Deluxe B.
We got the Charizards and Arceus, and we
I
could
guess
get like
so? What
Mega
about
Blaziken, something like
what
that, like
about for the gold
Altaria.
crown though? What do you think the gold crown could be?
You know, it could be. I think Ice Pop like is the #1 example, but
Or
it's either
Field
that
Blower.
or Field Blower. No,
So
we already have
here's
Field
my
Blower.
thought about
It
field
could
blower
be.
though. Is gold
Do
crown?
we?
It's
Do we
not gold
not?
crown
No,
though.
we
No, we
don't.
don't.
Oh,
No,
okay. Yeah, it could
no.
be Field
Um,
Blower. That's kind of
I'm
lame.
thinking
I think
field
a
blower or ice
staple.
pop. The problem with field blower is, and maybe this is probably what Dina's thinking, or at least the person on Dina's marketing team. You don't really want 2 field blowers, right? Like, what deck is like, bro, I need 2 field blowers?
Well,
Usually
the
not a
other thing
lot,
is
but
Pokeball was a promo, so like maybe it would just be another promo, which would be like X Speed
yeah,
or Red Card.
yeah. I'd love to see a X speed, gold crown X speed.
Yeah,
That'd be
because like
cool.
it's mostly a one of, right? So anything that's a one of, I think is a good thing to have as like either a promo or a alternate rarity
I'm
card.
calling it
Field
now.
Blower's
I
a one
think
of.
Darkrai, the pings, the sleep ping damage Darkrai is going to be our full art card.
Yep, like
Greninja was
Greninja.
our
Yep.
Greninja was our full art from the first one, and I think it's going to be the ping damage Darkrai, which is
Yeah,
going to
I
be
would like
like
that.
a
I'd
reason.
like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a reason for, unfortunately, for me to pull. I want
Yeah,
the
mean,
the ping damage Darkrai.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's, you know, it is what it is. Again, I really do just like, if anyone's watching from Dina, which they're not, like, just try to not go, you know,
2 months.
45 days without giving us a new card, please. Like, just somehow, it doesn't have to be in the set. Just have some type of a way for us to get new cards that are fun and we can play with them,
I
please.
feel like Team Rocket event given to us with that
Yeah, dude.
deluxe could be
Yeah.
viable.
Or just release 2 packs. Just put them at the same time. Be like, listen, you have 2 months, or not even. Maybe you have a month and a half. So here's 2 packs. Here's just a 1 mini set and then the deluxe, and it's like you get a month and a half. So that's
How about
fun.
this? It goes away. It goes away for. So it's here for a mini set, like you said. It's here alongside a set. Maybe do like what they're doing with the Alexa A right now, right? Right, it's where it's alongside of a set.
Right.
Maybe have it stay for whatever 2-3 weeks, leaves, and then comes back after the double pack leaves. It comes back maybe during the next single pack again, and alongside
Yeah.
that single pack.
There's a
Because they
million.
had Deluxe
You can
A
do it.
return. Remember, like a month later, or something goofy.
There's a million
I don't
ways you
remember why
can do
they
it,
did
bro.
that.
Literally, like Secluded came out, and then it was a month, and then Deluxe, and then a month and a half. I remember. So it was like literally like almost 2 months. It was like 2 months where there wasn't any new cards added, which is just
How-
not viable. It's just
No.
you're killing us if you do that. Seriously.
I will say, so if I again plan for worst case scenario here, and that does end up being the case, the game is in definitely a lot better state to kind of handle the 45 days of no new meta change. But
Yeah, I think like if it was this
as
season,
far as
I would
like
be
cards
totally
in the
fine
game,
about
it's
it.
better ready to handle it. But as far as player base goes, I guess maybe not so much. I don't know if we
Yeah,
could again
yeah.
handle another 45 days of no content. It would really, really hurt this game.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what
for
would help
sure.
if we did get a new game mode. They were like, "Hey, you do have no
Cool
new cards
deck.
this month, but here's a new game, like a new Tavern
We
Brawl
are
type
getting
deal."
one that's replacing Jay's favorite event. They said it's going away in October.
What is?
The step up battles I think are
Yeah.
actually going away.
So
They're going away, or are they
apparently-
they're just changing them, right?
Yeah, apparently it's
But they
gonna
are going
be
away.
infinite battles where the more you win, the harder the battle's gonna get. So
I mean,
know how
sure,
that's
but
going.
again, like you can't just give us single battle modes. Like that's not.
no, we
nobody's
need
doing that.
something multiplayer, like
Yeah,
you know,
like what? What?
just
what do you-
use
what do you mean?
water and I don't know, water and grass.
Yeah, I do understand it in the sense that like if you have too many game modes, then players just don't end up queuing. Maybe, but I bet if you played like when ranked came out this season, like you could probably still queue into the casual ladder, right? People are still queuing into it. There's enough people that play the game.
Dude, a
So
no EX mode. That would be
that's
insane.
it. That's dude. There's literally there's a million things. There's so many different things you could do, and it really wouldn't be hard to just have a weekly thing that resets. Like just be like,
What if?
Yeah.
What if
Like, it's
we?
just-
What if you got a? How would this work? This is gonna be a big what if. But what if they had some sort of team thing? Remember in how Pokemon Go you had like the 3 teams, right? You had the yellow, blue,
Yeah.
and red, whatever team it was. They did something similar to like that in this game though, where you join like an allegiance, one of 3 allegiances. Based off whichever one you joined, you get access to like a certain support and item
Sounds like
card or
Pokemon
something.
Go. I'm not gonna lie. with the
Well,
mystery.
Yeah,
it looks a
then
little
you
like
then you
Pokemon
all
Go, but I
battle, and
mean,
it's whoever wins, whoever whoever
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
legion
Like it resets points
wins.
every month.
Yeah,
Exactly.
be sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's literally, dude. We could be here all day talking about this stuff. There's a million things you could do in a game like this, and there's other games that do stuff like that, and they're great examples. Pokemon Pocket just hasn't done it yet,
Dude, I'll be a
but they really should.
full-time non-EX.
Right, right. Imagine if it was like another rank queue. That would be insane too. But I like the idea of a weekly reset. For me, from a content perspective, that's what would excite me the most. Where I could do like a weekly video highlighting like all of the best decks for that stipulation for the week, and then also like
Exactly.
it's just something to play. It's like, hey, like this week it's non EXs, and you're like, cool. Like I'll just build a deck and I'll play it for a week, and maybe I get my
I'd
3
love it.
wins, so I get my hourglasses, but I can continue to queue into it just because it's fun, and I can play decks, build decks, for that stipulation. And the next week's like, oh, it's only fire type Pokemon. I'm like, sweet,
And then they
let
can
me just put
offer
it in my
up
bag here,
emblems.
Yeah, and you could do
Exclusive.
emblem.
Yeah.
You could do anything, dude. I even just give us
Bro, deck box. Look at the boxes that we put our cards in. They're so bad. Like,
They're
give us
basic
access
as
to just
fuck.
certain
Yeah, deck
like
boxes.
accessories, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude,
Like, there
oh,
could be
kind
a
of just have
million
this-
million.
things.
I
It's a
kind of
million
had
things.
this just lying around. They have the celebrations one.
Yo,
This looks pretty sick. They
It
should add
is,
something like
right?
this.
They have that
to
in
the game.
live. They have the deck boxes in live, which
Yeah.
are really cool actually. And it's different though because there's not like real life product. So like typically if they release something like in real life, they kind of link it to like you get the code cards right in a official product. So they do that, whereas like if you buy an ETB, like you get the deck box or whatever, or the promo sleeves or something like in game. So that makes sense. I don't know if necessarily they need to do anything like that for Pocket, but there's a million. I'm going to
if
be in here
anything,
every
like,
week.
give us
there's
a
million things they
new,
can do.
yeah, exactly. Give us a new currency where it's just a weekly currency. You play the weekly event, you get this weekly currency. You can spend that currency on new stuff like the
Or
box
just cards.
flares or
Imagine,
like
imagine that though.
new cards
on
or
cards on
or
cards.
yeah, exactly. Honestly,
could just-
cards
you
that
could
are like
whatever
3
card you
sets
want.
old or something like that. You
Yeah.
can just buy whatever card you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love it. Why
the
not?
potential's infinite, dude. There's so many things they could do. But I mean, who knows, dude? I
We
don't know
had
what they'll do.
physical hourglasses at GameStop, so they kind of they're doing something.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, you never
Wait,
got one
do
of
they?
those?
No, I didn't even see
No.
one of those.
Yeah, so
Didn't know those
like
existed.
it's kind of rare. I
plushies?
don't know if I had this
It's an hourglass
in my
from Pocket.
desk. I think I have it in my desk. Hold on.
This is the first time I'm ever hearing this. I don't go out much though.
I kind of like probably moved it, but essentially it's just a card, and it looks like a little scratch ticket. So you scratch out the number, and then you put the code into the phone or whatever. Oh no, the website.
Yeah.
That little website. You have to link
Yeah.
your ID, and then from there they send you to your gifts. And
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we will get some free hourglasses
Oh,
at Worlds,
Best Buy.
right?
Best Buy does that too.
Best Buy.
go.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, there's the wish list goes on and on. I almost just sort of get tired of like thinking about all of the things they could add. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I like to just sort of be happy about what we have with us right now. And
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna
as a
lie.
content creator, I don't look forward to a potential month-long drought of any new cards. Like that's just sucks. Like I don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Dude, Deluxe is
But
so
where
bad.
we're at right now is great. Think about even how fun ranked is right now, how many people are playing the game, how good the last 2 weeks have been. The new set release gets teased literally in a number of days from
6
now, like
days.
6 days, which is nuts. We got tournaments
like
going,
we're
we got
still-
PMPT going. Oh, dude, this is one of those metas that we will never understand. It'll be gone before it's been figured out, sadly. And again,
There's
I
a
wish
lot of new muscle memory mechanics that like need to be learned with
Yeah,
like
that's true.
managing the energy and just the order of operation on attacks is very
Yeah.
very
But
intense for a lot of decks.
like I wish tournaments are different because people are always going to play like what is like considered to be the top of the meta. But when I play ranked like this season, like even the first few days, I'm like, dude, like there's so many decks that I'm just going to be able to lose to. Like there's so many strong things. If I queue up into Gardevoir Diancie, I'm like, I'm probably going to lose to this. Like this is a good deck. You hit like a, I don't know what, like insert whatever. Like I don't know, but like you could probably lose to it. Like there's just a million things that are quite strong, and it's cool. It's a cool thing. But you don't get to fully like flesh that out in a month-long season. Maybe if we had like more tournaments or something. There are a good amount of tournaments, but there's not like enough in my mind You know what I mean? There's really like maybe
Yeah.
what would you say, like maybe 1 or 2 big tournaments a week, or maybe 3. Um, but
Once rank
yeah,
drops, it really comes down like it really
yeah,
hurts
yeah,
the
yeah.
tournament scene, honestly.
Which is fun, which is fun. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? It's go play
Understandable
ranked.
too,
Like, that's
right?
what's it's there.
Yeah,
You know, you should be
exactly.
playing it. Yeah, but it's interesting, and you're right too, because that's why tournaments are important throughout the ranked season, because like you don't have the visibility into the ranked season per se.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily know if there have been any big meta developments, if they do come from ranked, and they do sometimes. And they did a bit more, I would say, when ranked was like came out alongside the set release. Like
Yep.
sometimes like a deck would come and start to become a bit popular in ranked, and then people would bring it to tournaments or whatever, and it would maybe come into the tournament meta. Like that was a thing. Nowadays, like the meta game gets 2 weeks to get figured out, so the decks you see in ranked like are kind of the
Yeah.
decks from the meta of that first 2 weeks from tournament play, which is like a little bit less fun. But yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Some people keep stuff secret, so
Yeah,
like
some people bust it out. Week 4 is some of my favorite weeks for tournaments. Some people bring the stupidest stuff and they end up going nuts. Like
yeah.
Yep.
it's like the last week they're like, new cards are coming, let me just do whatever, and they end up like doing well with those crazy decks. But yeah, man. What have you guys been playing anything interesting like on ranked or whatever? Do you have any like spicy thing that you're falling back on? Like anything
I
that you
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to the homie Esty. He came up with this Porygon Wally Charizard deck, and it's
Yeah,
using the Genetic
that's sick.
Apex 200 damage Scorch Charizard. I think it's Scorch, isn't it?
Yep.
Mm.
The
Either way,
Porygon
that
wall.
one, or no, not Scorch. Scorch is the one that stacks energy. It's the Genetic Apex one, the Crimson Storm. Sorry. But yeah, Porygon and Wally. Holy smokes, what a combination that
So
is.
cool. So cool. One of the cooler things in the
Yeah.
entire game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, that one was fun.
That's definitely unique.
Yeah, right. It's like you can get the stage 2 out without candy, and it's colorless. It's like literally made for Wally. It's like really really cool, for sure.
When it came to rank season, day 1, I really went heavy on Hitmonlee, Lucario, not any of the Bonsly, nothing like that, because
No Hitmonchan.
nah, you kind of realize like rank is basically we're in a point in the game where bench sniping is definitely common, and it wins you games with Ori, and then some sleep scam. Yes, the deck is not good, but like, some people get screwed over with that statistically, but it happens. And then day 2 I went heavy on Hoopa. So like, staying within the top 100 range, I mean top 1000 range, those two decks have been holding it down for me. I really haven't been switching over to other decks because I just feel like Lucario definitely has like
Yeah.
we discussed
Yeah.
earlier, has best matchup.
Steamroll.
Yeah,
And then
Lucario,
Hoopa's
Hoopa are
broken.
broken cards. Those are broken cards. I mean, both of those are really good. So I think those are definitely safe picks. I did like I started my rank season playing Hoopa, and I ended up being like, I just felt bad. Honestly, I was like, I don't think these people even have a chance.
It's
Like into
bullying.
Hoopa.
Yeah.
Like I played like 11 games and I didn't lose, and then I lost to a Hoopa, and I was like,
This is
yeah,
how
I
it
think I'm
feels.
gonna. Yeah, I was like, I think I'm just gonna pivot here. Like, I just want to maybe
Yeah.
just go a different route. And there was a lot of Lucario, which again I was feeling really good into playing Hoopa. So then I swapped, and I was like, I'm just gonna play Chandelure because it's good, and if I can dodge the Hoopas and stuff, like I actually feel like this deck's really solid into most things. But
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time with it. It's definitely a solid deck, not as strong as a lot of maybe in the top meta stuff, but I had a lot of fun with it, and now I'm playing Great Tusk because I saw that a buffed list
Kelly
has
went
sort of entered
crazy
back
with
into the
it.
metagame, dude. Great Tusk is
Yeah.
awesome,
Dude, that's
and it's
your
one of my favorite things in the entire game.
I
It's
always think of you
unfortunate.
whenever I see it popping off.
Dude, it's unfortunate that like the best deck in the game is fighting and it's Lucario, because like that's a totally respectable, solid like meta deck. It's just
Yeah.
never gonna
Oh
see
yeah.
nearly as much play as Lucario will. And it's funny. It's like
That's kind of
it's
what happened
always
to
been
Gallade too, right? Was
yeah,
like the Lucario treatment. It just got
yeah. No,
redheaded stepchild by Lucario.
no reason to play Gallade, at least yet. And hopefully never, because stage twos really don't. I don't love. I didn't love when the meta was like, hey, like let's just play the strongest stage twos and hope we get lucky. Like that was what the metagame was for a long
Yeah.
time. Um, which
I like that they're
fine,
getting like. I mean, obviously, stage 2s. You're never gonna not have stage 2s in Pokemon, right? You're gonna have to have them eventually. But I do like that we're getting more and more mechanics lately that get us to our stage 2s, other than just rare candy, right? Like
in fact,
we have
like
the
most of them, I
Caterpie.
feel like.
Yeah, right. Like that's where it feels like like that's gonna be their new wave. Is like, hey, we're gonna help you get to your stage 2 in a fun way, or even your stage 1 in a fun way.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like, okay, well, you better hope you have the rare candy, you know?
Right. Or just have a truly strong Pokemon on the other side of it, right? Like there was a time where if you were a stage 2 Pokemon that did not have 2 energy in the attack cost, like it just didn't make any sense to even play it because you weren't going to get the value out of the rare candy, you know? And if you were a late game deck, you needed to be exceptionally strong anyway. And they didn't exist. Like it was like Stoke Charizard or I don't know, like name a rare, like they were Solgaleo, like it was all just rare candyable decks where the attack cost was 2 or less, and now it just doesn't even matter like with breakpoints anymore. And I think that's one of the biggest things about stage 2s, like even with megas, it's like what's the benefit of having 210 HP above 190? Like sure, like Lucario is the only thing potentially, but you're not even safe because they got bench damage and they're gonna chip you
Yeah.
down and
Even
they're more
Sceptile
consistent.
gets you. I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen Lucario hit a 210 full HP Sceptile, so
literally.
it's still possible.
Yeah, so the stage 2s, like there just isn't really that much benefit to playing them anymore, other than a couple that are true high roll versions like Sceptile, like Blaziken, which can go turn 2 and hit for big numbers, which Lucario can't. Like Lucario's an incredibly well designed Pokemon, where it's a stage 1, but it's still a turn 3, kind of turn 4 late game attacker, and it can one at KO. Like it's such a
Yep.
weird Pokemon in the context of Pokemon Pocket and what the cards are like. There's just nothing else like it. It's just so.
But once you
It's
have that
incredibly
setup,
would
it
unique.
sweeps everything.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
unless you're playing specifically something that doesn't get one at KO'd by Lucario, like you need to play bench damage so that you can target it and then bring it up,
But
or
even then, you could
set
do
something else up.
210
Like
with
Bro,
Yeah,
and
right.
then they run 2
Right.
popsicles in a PCL, and it's like, okay, cool, I got this
Right.
Lucario in almost KO range. Nope, no, you don't. You
Right.
think you
And
did.
you're right. So it's like, and there's ways around that strategy. Like there's always been counterplay to bench setup decks, right? You can play
Yeah.
Sabrina, you can play bench damage early game Cyrus, like you can do Greninja combo stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do, but like Lucario is that example. It's just the crown jewel example where Altaria was for a while, and now it's just like I'll just play Lucario because I just want to KO stuff. Like this, it has that benefit where a lot of things don't.
One thing I would like to see more of is the 2 attacks that they brought back with Hoopa. I hope we see more of that. I like cards
Yeah.
with 2 attacks on them. Those are fun.
That's a big
options.
reason why Hoopa's good too. I think people underrate that 100 damage attack on Hoopa. Like,
Oh, it's
you
huge.
can draw
Dude,
nothing.
I took
and just-
advantage of that. Like I take advantage of that in the mirror match because you just keep stacking it. What are they gonna do? Especially if
Right.
you
That's
have
why it's
the
just a time bomb.
priority. If you have the
You've
priority on
attacked
the energy.
twice, for the 30. So then it's like by the time it's turn 3, you got 100 and with Needle, you got like it's 180 damage. Like it's just it's just such a crazy card, man. Hoopa's crazy. I said it was crazy. I told people they were like, this card's not that good. I heard some people commented, people were hating, dude. They were in my DMs. They were in my chat, dude. And I was like, Hoopa's insane, dude. You guys need to go like reevaluate your life. And Needle's also surprisingly good.
I thought that card was
yeah.
so dog shit when it first came out. I'm sorry. The reason it's just like 10 damage and you're wasting an equip slot, but like it adds up.
Yeah, and
It's the
I
way
think the
it
biggest
hits,
thing,
I feel
dude.
like, right?
Yeah, the thing I like about Needle is that you can attach it going first and get the 10 damage off, which comes in clutch like crazy for the lead up combo, like with Hoopa, or just like if they go turn 1 retreat, you've already tagged that Pokemon.
Exactly.
So it's like you
it goes
immediately
perfect with your double Cyrus.
Yeah,
Dude, what I
you're
like
like,
about
oh,
that
geez.
card is you could pick up like 2 kills in by like turn 2 because like you just play double Cyrus in the other thing that's probably like 40, and then just like swing on both of them. It's like, or you could just Darkrai ping it down to like 20, and then
and then you have Darkrai, dude. Yeah, dude. Like I had a game with Hoopa where I went like turn 1 Sabrina or Repel. I repelled turn 1, and then the next 2 turns were Cyrus, and then another Cyrus, and my opponent just couldn't. He just didn't have the option to play.
He's because bouncing around on the board.
Yeah, he was like,
while
oh,
taking
okay,
damage.
like he was like, I'm gonna retreat, put attach. I think it was against Lucario. He was like, I'm gonna attach to this Riolu, and I was like, no, bring it back with Cyrus.
Yep.
And then he's like, all right, I'll attach to the other Riolu. that he had just
Nope.
benched the turn. And I was like, no, there's a second Cyrus. Brought that up, and like he was like, yeah, this is
Damn, Pocket Mad's
it's over.
bullying.
It's a bully deck. Like it's a genuinely disgusting deck, and Repel coming back into the metagame as well is something I'm really happy about. That's a very healthy card, and a card that I think is really good. Early game Sabrina used to be like one of the crazier things in the game. It was actually one of the original skill expressions was do I Sabrina now or do I hold it for later? I mean, if you remember back before Cyrus was in the game, and Repel again another card from ED Crisis, which has stood the test of time.
Yep.
Just a really
Dude, I guarantee you, people are
strong.
gonna start next season. People are gonna complain about Hoopa because like that deck is just so nasty. It's gonna be.
They
the
should.
new
They should be
Hydreigon.
complaining. You should complain about Hoopa. It's a bit too good. It's a little bit too good. I don't know what they were doing, but
I'm
Yeah,
controversial with it. I love decks like that. That just like I mean because like in the mirror match, it kind of does bring like skill expression minus
for
the
sure.
there's always gonna be luck with ice pops, of course. But like the
Yeah,
way you
it's-
position your needles, the way you position your absols, the way you position your hand, and
Do you
how you
bench?
bench. The thing is
It also plays
about
Mars
that,
sometimes,
yeah,
right?
because of
Doesn't-
Mars. There's so
Dude,
many times you catch
what a
people off
deck.
guard because you're like people don't want to bench and they feel safe with their hoopa.
Yeah,
Like,
Mhm.
all right, you took the first KO, Mars to one card.
Bye.
Now I have the card advantage. It's like
yeah. I feel like even like a red card would be spicy for like the turn one non benches. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like it's just dude. There's some cards are built different. Hoopa's certainly that guy.
yeah.
And it's just cool. It's just a cool card, dude. Because like people don't. I don't know if people really realize like Hoopa's like a mythical Pokemon. Like it's like a legitimate. Like it's
is.
on the same tier as like a Darkrai or like something like
yeah.
that. Like in the
Yeah,
Pokemon
one of my
lore.
favorites in the Pokemon lore. I agree.
Yeah. So it's like they added. I wasn't even thinking of Hoopa.
And this
And
one
they're like,
has
here's
like
who's
a
an
shaman
unbound
form,
Hoopa EX.
if
dude,
anything,
and it's
like
broken.
sky form, whatever this form is called. I don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah. It's Unchained Hoopa Unchained, I think, or Unbound. Unbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool, dude. It's a crazy card, bro. I don't know why it's dark type, to be fair, but it's insane. It really is. Mega Ray's good.
What do we
Sharpedo's
think?
good.
I guess. What do you think Mega Mewtwo could be? To
There's gonna be
counteract that?
one.
Do you think a one energy Mega Mewtwo, like a one energy Psychic? Even? Do you think
So-
they could give Psychic to Mewtwo, or is that more of a Mega
Yeah.
Alakazam thing? I feel like.
No, I think Psychic. I think Mewtwo has Psychic, does it not? The original one.
It
It usually
does.
does.
There is a Mewtwo with Psychic. It might be the non-EX one. I don't know, but I would say one Mewtwo would be high energy, high damage. So it would just be a setup sweep type guy. Probably just basically Mewtwo EX, but turned up to 11. So maybe
Do you
still
think they're
4
gonna keep
energies.
both of X and Y? Do you think they'll both be Psychic, or do you think there's a chance for one to even be fighting?
I think one would be fight. I'd have to look at the normal TCG.
Oh
Hold on, let me
yeah,
look.
I
Is
I
that,
think,
is that
I
Mewtwo?
think
That's
there
Mewtwo
is
Y.
one fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, X
Mewtwo
is
Y.
normally the fighting one.
Y is the
Mewtwo
fight.
Y
X is
is
the
a
fighting.
psychic. Yeah.
Okay, Mega Mewtwo X card, and let's see if it's fighting. There's a psychic one. This is interesting. There's actually back in the day,
Fun
the
fact,
original
the
original
new-
Mega Mewtwo was psychic, but it had 2 energy in its attack cost. It had fighting and psychic, which I don't think they would do.
Oh no.
I don't see any fighting type Mega Mewtwo.
The
But they could
new
do that for
Mewtwo we
Pocket.
got, the new Mewtwo we got, the shiny Mewtwo, that's not EX, has the attack psychic. The 3 energy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
plus
That's
10.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think again, like one would be like that, and the other one would probably be more like tempo focused, maybe more just early game focused as a basic. Like maybe it does kind of deal like maybe kind of like a Hoopa type deal, maybe like Hoopa, but maybe a
Yeah.
little stronger.
I'm thinking, because I'm thinking like Mega Mewtwo potentially is going to end up being like a Lucario, right? Where it's like, this is going to be a big one. You can't really miss on this one, right? You've got to have this one be kind of a long-lasting big hitter, and maybe something like Lucario. That was like you were saying, Maddie, was a very well-designed attack on that card where it
Lucario
starts low, right?
Such
It
a good
starts with the
design.
2 energy potential, but then it ramps up and it gives you more potential
Yeah,
for like
90
a big
for
hit,
2
So
or 140
Yep.
for 3. But it's a stage
Yep.
1, which is why that's important, right? Because like like if it was a stage 2, then maybe that makes sense because maybe you just let it hit for 140 or for 2, but it's a stage 1.
what about?
so
I
they
don't
had to
know.
balance
I
it.
was wondering if they could do like a Mega Mewtwo with like a 1 energy. We still don't have a Mega that has two attacks. I was thinking Mega Ray could maybe be the first one, but
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
know if
look
we're
like
ever
that
gonna
ever
get it.
happened. Yeah,
don't
now
know if
that
we're ever
Mega
gonna get
Ray
that.
didn't happen, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't
Dude,
see
imagine
Mega
we get a Mega
Mewtwo being the
Mewtwo.
first one.
X.
Could be,
with
dude. Mega Mewtwo could be
Lucario.
the first guy. The thing is tough because like if you're gonna give two attacks to like a Mega, you're almost kind of incentivizing of like, well, of course, one of those will be a lower energy attack cost and
Yeah.
one will be a higher. So you're incentivizing like the entire strategy to kind of just be built around having that Pokemon in play, which like in general like isn't the best from a
I
gameplay
want there
perspective.
to
But
be kind of like a what Hoopa has, right? Like the 1 and 3, like the 1 energy
right,
lower end
but it,
attack and then like a 3 energy bigger end attack. Obviously
right,
it's a lot to ask for, and it turns it
right.
into a very
But
almost too well-rounded Pokemon.
exactly, that's the thing is if it was a Mega and it had an early game and late game option, like what, like just play that and 19 trainers, right, and play
Yeah.
Ice
Oh, it
Pops and
100% would be. It 100%. And if that's what they do with Mewtwo, it's 100% what it's going to. In fact, that honestly still might be the case, right? It's going to be a basic, and that's what's going to be crazy about Mewtwo. And I wonder if that's why they're saving a lot of these certain megas to the end here. Like Mega Mewtwo, it's a basic mega, so it's going to be good,
it's
right?
psychic
Like
and
Mega
it's
Ray
psychic.
was also a basic mega, and it's psychic. And it's psychic, so it's automatically going to be like on another level of good.
Right. Well,
Ray was a
Diance's in the
dragon,
game.
so there was the nerf on Mega Ray, right? Like that was the downside to Mega Ray was, or at
Yeah.
least the fact that it's a basic, is
Right.
the fact that it's a dragon too. So it has to deal with only being able to work with other dragon setups. But
Yeah.
either way, the Mega Mewtwo being a basic is, I mean, the potential in that's gonna be crazy. Unless
Yeah.
they goof the attack and do it like, oh, it's a 4 energy a cost attack, then they kind
Well,
of take
I'm
away
sure
the.
it would be, dude. I bet Mewtwo Y would probably be like 4 energy, like
I can feel it. 3
220.
energy to 4 energy, yeah.
TCG
And it'd be
one is
discard
2
2 energy. It would just be Mega. It would be Mewtwo EX but big, which is fine because then you have Mewtwo X, which could just be more of like a, I don't know, like what's an example? Like maybe like an
beater.
Absol type effect where it's like less energy, less damage, but it has an effect on
Mhm.
it. You know what I mean? And you can play them both in the deck, which is cool, right? So you could, you could have one for each kind of scenario, which could be interesting. Mega Diancie came to the game as a psychic basic Pokemon, one that I thought was really strong, and I still think Mega Diancie's strong, but I part of me feels like people played it incorrectly from the very beginning. I don't know where the Gardevoir EX, the Mega Gardevoir propaganda came from. I never thought it was good or would be the best way to play Diancie, and I still don't think it is. In fact, I think the best Diancie deck is literally like with Giratina and just playing Mutina, but with Diancie. But yeah, Mega Diancie is a very interesting card. But again, I think Mega Gardevoir is legitimately a bad card for basically every reason that we all realize it. It doesn't deal enough damage, doesn't have enough,
Stage 2.
it's a stage
Enough
2,
said.
doesn't deal enough damage, and the whole point of it is to like retreat into something else, which is a losing strategy. So I it is what it is. That to me was the downside, like the down part of B series was like when they gave us Gengar and they gave us Gardevoir, and I was like, none of these are that good,
I will
unfortunately.
say the downside to all this Mega Mewtwo stuff, unless they do like a whole because the data leaks, data mine was cards that are already they imported. All they probably needed is like a JPEG upload to match the cards with whatever and rename it. But you know, we don't have proof of something like that coming into the game yet.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
do think Mega Mewtwo will come eventually. Like that's
no,
Oh
something
yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
gotta add.
it's
but not
inevitable.
for the
Again,
Team
there's only like
Rocket,
10 megas left.
But
right?
that could be a C. That could be like a C1 thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like who knows? That's something that I feel like they would save for like a big, a big thing.
But we
which
will
would be
have
like
Team Rockets. We have to
Team
have
Rocket
like
something
a
is
Team
coming.
Rockets YouTube
Yeah.
or something.
Well,
like that.
okay, so if you go back to the original TCG and like the way they released the boosters, was it Fossils first? Was that the first booster they had, or like the first
There was base
expansion?
set and then there was base set and then Fossil Jungle, and then
Yeah.
it was
Jungle.
Gym Challenge or Gym Leader,
Gym
and then it was
Heroes.
Gym Heroes. Yeah, then it was Neo Genesis or Neo Explorer and Neo. What was the other Neo?
No, they had the Team Rockets one in between.
That's what I was saying.
That's
Where was
true.
the Team
Yeah,
Rocket
Rockets.
one?
That was in the gym. That was in the gym.
Gym
That was in
Heroes.
Series 2. That's Series 2.
Well, because my next thought too is like with if we're gonna keep going with these thematic packs, then Aerodactyl Fossil set that Like, when's that gonna happen? That could happen potentially here
Dude,
soon, right?
if I'm gonna tell you what, I think if they were ever gonna never release a mega, it would probably be Aerodactyl. It's probably the one they would never release if they were
I
to.
could honestly, I was just thinking that too. I'm like, there's a chance maybe
They
they
might just
just
not.
never give us
Yeah.
Aerodactyl. It could be too good, honestly. A stage 1 fossil mega, it's
Or they just
very
maybe it
good.
just couldn't be good enough because like fossils are fossils, right?
That's true too. I mean, one Chingling locks the entire card out from being
Right.
played at all.
Right. It's like,
So
what do you do? But maybe because it's a mega, like maybe it's just like maybe it's a basic. Maybe
Dude,
they just say no fossils. I
it
don't know.
got his shine on Pokemon Champions. Does it
Is
need
that
a
yeah, it's
shine
true.
here?
Does Mega Aerodactyl have a card in
No,
the
it's-
official TCG? Because I'm interested how they do this.
I think they do.
Mega Aerodactyl card.
I gotta look it up.
They
too.
do. And it. So the original one evolved from Aerodactyl.
Yeah, that's how
'Cause
they
that's how
used
Megas
to.
work.
The mechanic kind of changed, like for the brand new ones that are out right now for Mega.
So there's
like,
so there's not a new one.
No.
So there hasn't been a new Mega Aerodactyl since.
So
that's
we don't have
interesting.
a mechanic for like the newer version. But then again, they are trying to promote like ZA stuff before they go into Winds and Waves.
That's a great point too. What about ZA? What about
I think that's
yeah, because like you would think. You think they would do a ZA themed set, or would they just kind of start bringing in the card like the Pokemon? Like here's
I don't know. I
start
still don't think.
sprinkling.
I still think we're too soon for ZA stuff. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna break the seal.
Jay,
on,
that
like,
game came
hey,
out a long
ZAs.
time ago.
Yeah,
The game came
I
out a long
think
time
it's
ago.
It's gonna be 1 year. It's only 1 year.
C-series.
It's only a year ago. So I don't know. Maybe.
When did that game come out? Like it's
When-
probably
how
at
long
least
does
6 months
Pocket
ago, right?
keeps- Or Pokemon keep stuff under wraps forever though. Like I don't know. I guess maybe C series would be like the earliest.
They
but
already had it for the official TCG though. They had the most
that
or
came
not
out
the most
20
recent.
did.
Yeah,
Couple, though, but
the
only
two
like a
most
handful
recent
of
sets
things, right?
are well. So they had the Mega Zygarde, and then they just came out with Pitch Black or whatever, which is Mega Darkrai. So if they
Nah.
were gonna do that, the seal has been broken.
Let me counter
Greninja
that
2, I
real
think,
quick,
and
Jay.
Dragonair.
Jay.
That's true.
Yes.
You're right.
So you said it's too soon, but then again, I feel like we have to continue this pivot into the Mega and get alternate out of the Mega, because the reason being is, like, let's just say, okay, Pokemon wants to hold back probably another year for ZA or Megas to return. In order to do that, and for people to stop playing Mega Pokemon that we have now, you're gonna have to make EX Pokemon nastier, like to outshine all these current Mega Pokemon. And
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be this little disruption. Okay, now you want to bring Megas, you gotta make them broken. I feel like they get through all that, and then they get to the next mechanic.
If you do the math, they've already begun to space it out. Like if you add in all the new Megas,
Yeah.
like every month, like let's just divide that by however come out in a set, which is like what, like three or four at the most.
At the most, yeah. It's usually
yeah,
like
in a
one-
mini set it might just
like
be
in a
like
mini
two,
set,
right?
It's 1 to 2. Yeah.
Right. So if you divide that once every month, like realistically, there's still enough Megas to kind of last us through the year. This is way in the future, but like when Wind and Waves comes out, when Gen 10 comes out, there will be a new dynamic, and they will time it. So they're not going to delay. Like once Wind and Waves comes out, like I guarantee you, the Pocket set and the TCG set will coincide with it because it's the new generation, and like that's when Megas will go. So like the C series will probably still be Megas, maybe incorporated with other things to keep things fresh. But as soon as Wind and Waves comes out, like that's when Megas are going to be done.
Because you gotta realize too, we're not our type of game is not being rotated out as opposed to Pokemon TCG, where okay, Mega's done, Terrestrialize is gone, so
you can soft
you're gonna
rotate
have
things
to-
though, like certain like
could.
Pokemon just are just not good anymore. Like there's nothing from Genetic Apex in terms of like an attacking Pokemon,
Yeah.
or even the first few sets. Like it's just inevitable that power creep will do that eventually. The only reason they do rotation for the physical TCG is because it becomes difficult to acquire the cards, right? And if they're not printing the sets, then they're not going to have them be a part of the official thing. But in Pocket,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter, right? So they just won't ever rotate. They'll just kind of slowly power creep. But you can still open Genetic Apex, right? So like they'll like it's people still play Greninja, so it's fine. It's not really a big deal in that sense. But
it's where these alternate
guess-
formats have to come into play.
right.
My thought though is the reason why we're still gonna maybe not get ZA stuff is I don't know. Is it's a licensing thing? I think again, it's going to
Is it
come down to like
for ZA?
it's a gotcha game. All cards have got to have some sort of licensing to them, do they not? Like,
But the Pokemon owns the game though. Like
Yeah,
nobody
I don't think
there's not a single
yeah,
entity that
the
owns the rights
Ash
to any Mega Evolution that's not Pokemon.
the
I
Ash
I know,
thing
but
I
like
get, but not the
Ash
ZA.
Ash I do get, yeah, because there's people that
but
publish the TV show or whatever
like
that own the rights.
the game itself though, like the game, like do they want other games like what's the other game that I play? The other Dina game. I don't think they have ZA Megas in their game yet either.
Oh, you're talking
Which
about
is
Masters?
the Masters EX. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. I don't think they have ZA Megas in the game yet.
Right.
Hold on, let's
But
see.
again,
So
that
again,
might just
it's like a
be
licensing thing where they're like, we don't want Legend ZA Megas being used in other games yet because we want to continue to sell Legend ZA as
Yeah.
much as possible.
Right.
And then once like the year-long cap is broken or whatever, because I guarantee, like I don't have the official date or spreadsheet or whatever they're using, the files at Nintendo, but I guarantee you there's some sort of cutoff date that they say, we don't want the
Yeah,
Pokemon being
we'll
used
put
in
it out there.
any other game up until this date.
Yeah, and I
So-
get the official TCG is different because it's physical. It's not a video game. Right?
Yeah,
So that's the
exactly,
difference.
exactly. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I do get that. I mean, I do understand why it might take a little while, but I do think we're kind of approaching that time. Like it's probably somewhat close. Like I don't know when that would be.
you're right.
but-
It's a year. I mean, October's a year, so I think it came out in October. If I'm
there's
not
so
mistaken.
many new megas. Like you can't just throw them all in a single set. That's why I'm like they'll probably just start rolling them out in C series as like
Yeah.
features. Like here's Mega Dragonite, with alongside whatever else. You know what I mean? And it's just sort of they'll just sort of dip their toes in there. I don't know if there would be like a ZA themed set per se. Maybe.
No, I don't think so either. I think you're probably right. Well, they'll just continue to like there'll be a breaking point where like we're gonna start getting the ZA Megas and stuff, but like I don't
Well,
think we're gonna get
Yo,
like
Jay,
a special
Jay,
pack that has
take a
all
look
of
at
them. in
this.
it. What's up?
What I'm
So they've
sharing.
announced it.
You too,
Okay, what's up?
Matt.
Yeah, Pokemon Masters EX soon reach its 7-year anniversary. This time, trainers and Mega Evolution Pokemon from Legend ZA will make their much anticipated debut in Pokemon Masters. So yeah, maybe this is a teaser for the anniversary C1 set for Pocket. Maybe it'll be
When
ZA
does
themed.
Ericko? Does it say when that's coming out by chance?
No,
Can
it's just
we-
a random. Well, it's not a random
Oh, dude,
website.
what-
It's their like,
Masters.
official Masters.
When's the
EX
7-year? When's the 7-year? What's the anniversary for?
Let me look. Hold on.
I don't even know.
2026 anniversary is August 28th. Oh crap. Okay,
Oh,
so it's
so it's
happening
this month.
This
Yeah.
month.
And
So-
Pockets is in October, right? So
Yes. So honestly, you know what? That could be the announcement. Is Pocket is
ZA.
getting ZA Megas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That could
I'm
be it.
fine. Again, I don't know. Are people that hyped about some of those megas? I guess maybe.
I think
It's
I
more
don't-
of the
Maddie,
same.
I
It's
think
just the same stuff.
I'm,
it's just
I'm,
it's just
I'm like where you're at, where I'm like, where's Gen 5 isn't going to be
Dude.
the 3-year
Dude.
anniversary then?
You're
Or
never
what?
getting Gen
So-
5. You're
Dude.
never getting.
No, honestly, at
Zekrom.
this point, Gen 5 is going to be what they sprinkle in to.
Why
the
don't people
sets.
like
We're
Gen
not
5?
going to get Gen 5 as the set. It's going to be the sprinkle in.
I understand Gen 1. Okay, I understand the Gen 1 hype. Even Gen 3 to an extent, right? Like people love Gen 3. I get that. But you're going Gen 7. We've gotten a Gen 8 a Gen 9 mini pack. We've gotten Gen 4. What's going on? Like I just don't. Gen 2, they give us a Gen 2 set. Like
So,
just what's going on here? Why do people not like Unova? Do people not like it? I don't
Bro,
understand.
I've been saying I think they're Gen 5 has the potential for the coolest
it.
mechanics in Pocket. Again,
Dude,
I've been
it's
kind of pushing those like it's a digital card game. You could give us digital mechanics, fusion mechanics, right? Let us fuse cards. Let us take 2 cards, fuse it into a brand new card. Let us do weird transformation ability mechanics, stuff like that. Anyways, that's my hope for Gen 5. Maybe that's why they're waiting. Is it'll just be the craziest like fusion set and it'll be
Plasma,
fun.
dude.
Who
Team
knows?
Plasma, dude. Reshiram
knows?
EX, Zekrom EX
Yes.
will
that's what I'm saying,
save
but-
lives. It will make you money. I
Bro,
promise you
I
that.
think you're
I
cooked.
promise
I
you
think
that.
you're cooked. It's
I
it's
guess-
over. Gen 3
Bro,
is
that
taking
being said, predictions.
Bro, I need
then for
Darmanitan EX. I need Seismitoad
predictions then for
EX.
October. What do you guys think? What do you guys think October is going to be then? You think
Dude,
it's, I
I just
honestly think it's gonna be
realized-
Legend ZA.
I
now
just
that we're-
Yeah,
realized
probably ZA,
that
probably ZA.
Pokemon Masters is Dana.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Masters is also Dana, so like whatever, like
So if we're talking
they'll
about
dip
the
their toes in
rights,
that, dude.
if we're
They'll
talking
get in
about
there.
the rights, they're gonna
There's not a rights,
squeeze.
not a rights
No, I know,
problem.
I know.
That's not a
it's
legal
not
thing.
necessarily getting the rights. It's kind
The
of more so like I
license.
said with this,
It's
where
about
this
it's
is
about
like
overlapping
yeah,
sales
exactly.
cycles.
Like
Yeah,
ZA,
I get that. I get
ZA
that.
is gonna allow their Pokemon to be pushed into
Yeah,
other games, and I
For
think
sure.
this is obviously that's the announcement of like,
But
hey,
it's all
you know,
Pokemon.
the veil has been lifted now.
If
So
Pokemon's like, yo, give us a ZA set, Dina's like, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Pokemon's probably just telling them, like, hey, let's dip into that Gen 4 bag real quick. You know what I mean? They're like, word, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it.
Ericko, that's funny you brought that up, dude. I think that is honestly going to be indication that we're getting ZA Megas.
Yeah,
that's going to
like
be
the
the
best-
announcement at Worlds. It's going
Yeah.
to be. What do you
That's
guys
what
think
I'm
the
trying
triple
to
pack's going to be
cycle.
then?
I think they're trying to cycle out
It's not gonna be
megas
triple.
as fast
It'll be
as possible.
it'll be Dragonair. It'll be.
It's not gonna be triple.
You don't think they're going to do a triple pack like they did with B series?
I hope not.
It'll be
for the
Dragonair.
beginning of
It'll
C.
be.
For the beginning of C, it's gonna be triple.
I bet it will be.
You think
I
so?
bet it will be.
They're gonna
Yeah.
go from
Oh, yeah, I
triples
bet
into,
so.
into only single packs. Isn't that so weird? Why
Well,
would they-
I'd be okay with it. I kind of like when they did that last set.
I
with
like the triple packs, but they also went away from the double pack. So it's like I don't know.
It's also very true, right? That's also very true.
Maybe we
Maybe
get a
you're
double
right.
pack.
Yeah, maybe just a
Maybe
double.
we
Like
get a
I don't
double
know,
pack.
dude. I
Okay.
don't know. No, triple make. I do think triple's cool though, because it's like, what you throw in like, because they didn't do starters
Dragonair
for
would
B1.
be the
You
main
do
one,
Mega
right?
Dragonite, maybe like, but then like if you're gonna do
Or
one of the
Dragonite,
starters,
excuse me. I
wouldn't
keep
you
saying
do the?
Dragonair.
If you're gonna do one of the starters, like couldn't you do them all? Like would it just be Greninja,
What was big on
Meganium, and
ZA?
Emboar?
What was Zygarde?
It was Greninja.
Would that be
Greninja. Zygarde's like
and
the
Greninja?
legend.
Greninja? Yeah,
Greninja.
they probably
No,
won't
it
have
was
that be
Totodile.
Dragonite.
Totodile, the
For Alligator?
for Alligator, Meganium, and Emboar.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
were the
starters.
starters.
So that's like the
Okay.
clear thing, but they didn't do that for B1. It wasn't like you're the 3 starter.
Yeah, no, it was Altaria,
Megas.
Blaziken, and Gyarados.
But then
so
again,
it would be
They give us
Dragonite.
Charizard later on as a mini set.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
You're
weird.
right. Because we could have gotten the what's his name. So we got the Blaziken, we could have got Sceptile, and we could have got the Mudkip. I forget what the Swampert. If
Swampert,
they
yeah.
really
Mm-hmm.
want to go that route, but I don't think they are. But
Yeah,
then
those
again,
guys
no, I don't think.
Pikachu.
I think they'll have the Blaziken or the starters. I think they'll have them in there, but I don't think that's going to be the pack. Like
but we
the
had the
headliners of the pack.
Pikachu, Mewtwo, Charizard, so they just went
Oh,
with what was
yeah.
hype.
The thing is,
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we get a Mega Greninja, like that's a big deal
Bro,
just because of
That's going to be huge.
the fact that you can
I'm
play
telling you,
Greninja
ping
in the
40
deck.
on the ping 40 on the back.
Yeah,
We have the Dragonite set
Hold
up
on.
too right now.
So what
too,
are hold on
so-
like ZA Megas, because some of the like Mega Gyarados isn't like the crazy, like Mega Altaria, those aren't like the biggest
Dude, the Mega
Megas. Like that's
Raichu-
why I was like, where's Lucario? Like when B1 came out, I was like, what about Lucario?
Yeah.
What about this? What about that?
Dude, if we get
Um,
Mega Raichu EX, Y, and X, dude, that
All right.
X and Y.
something
I
has
think
to
those
be
will
So we do
be
have-
later since those are
do have
DLC. Those
Raichu.
are going to be later.
So we have Raichu, you have Clefable, Victory Bell, Starmie, Dragonite, Meganium for Alligator,
Dude, so much.
Skarmory, Staraptor, Frostlass,
Dude, Meganium is gonna
um,
be so broken with the with the
Scolipede,
grass.
Axcatril. Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
could see
crazy.
Frostlass. I like
Oler,
think about what they would put on
Chandelure.
the pack headliners. Then it would probably be Dragonite as your
Floette.
seller, right?
Yeah, we're gonna
Floette.
get Dragonite.
Oh, Floette. Oh,
Floette would be a big one. Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
like
that'd be fun.
Dragonite, Floette, and something probably.
And Greninja.
There's Halucha. There's so many new megas, dude. I don't think people realize how many new megas they added. This is like a
Oh, there's
year's
like
worth
50
of sets.
new megas, dude. There is so many mega. Like if they do go into ZA, we're getting 5 megas per set for the rest of the
The
year.
year.
and
Yeah,
we're
like
Dude,
gonna-
we're
that's
getting
that's
Mega
what
Dark
C
Rod.
is.
Plus
I
on megas.
assume. I assume C just has to be all of the new megas, like because they could just space it out for a year easily. Because like that's what a lot of these are. Like because even after the DLC, you have Heatran, you have Darkrai,
Mhm.
you've got the new Garchomp Z, Lucario Z, Absol Z. Like yeah, the Raichus, like you said. There's a
Dude,
lot. There's a
imagine
lot of new megas, dude.
Darkrai, attach 1, deal 40 damage.
Yeah, I mean,
this could
listen,
also be
dude.
where they attach the primals, or not attach. Excuse me, attach. This is where they could introduce the primals too, right? Because the
We
primals
only
were
have
also
one
part
bad
of the ZA,
Darkrai,
weren't
by
they?
the way.
Oh, they're not adding the primals, dude. RIP
We
the
only have
primals.
one bad.
They're not even megas, so it's like kind of a weird thing anyway.
They've
What'd you
been-
say?
What'd you say, Ericko?
We have one bad Darkrai, and then the rest are like. Granted, there's only 3 of them in the game right now, so odds are if we get a Mega, that thing's gonna be pretty good.
Mega Phalanx, Mega Baxcalibur, Tatsugiri,
Yeah,
Magirna, Zeraora, Drampa.
Bro,
yeah,
and
that
Mega
Dragon
Phalanx could be
Steel,
fun.
that Dragon Steel
Many, dude.
Pokemon. Yeah.
There's so many. Yeah, dude. There's literally, it's just like there's so many megas. Like I don't even know why we were having that argument. Like I don't know how many megas they've yet to release, but it's probably close to 100. You got to imagine. Like we don't have
And
that many.
Winds and Waves
We're
rumor,
probably about halfway through.
there
Dude. They're
might be
about
more
halfway through.
megas. So I don't know if we're
I
going
don't
into.
know if they're doing megas and winds and waves. I think it's a new.
I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. I don't know. What I've read.
I wouldn't
Apparently,
be upset. I like
my
megas.
uncle works at Nintendo type of thing.
Yeah, right. My dad
Yeah.
owns Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah,
But
be funny, dude. I'm excited. I am. Man, I just really don't want Deluxe B. And if they do, just don't leave us out to dry, please. Like I don't care if you do Deluxe B, really, just don't make that the only thing for a month and a half.
yeah.
Please. Please.
I know we're getting Deluxe B. I hope we're not, again, like you said, getting hung out to dry for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Even if
We're
they
gonna have
gave
to-
us some form of content, right? Like no cards, but like, hey, here's a new game mode. I would.
Yeah.
It
Dude,
would be
a
better
new game
than
mode
nothing.
would make it completely fine. I don't even care if you do nothing
Yeah.
to the game for 2 months. Like if we get a new game mode, like that's like fine. Like I genuinely don't even care.
It'll
Honestly.
make the game
but
so much more fresh.
yeah, no, it's we play the game, so that's what we want, of course. And then most people, or a lot of
one
people probably
last
don't
thing
care.
here. I don't know if you guys are trying to wrap this up, but I guess one last thought. So if it does end up being the Team Rocket set, and it comes down to a raid mechanic, do you think it would be raid against Mewtwo then? Like
A raid?
Or what do you think? Yeah, because I isn't that kind of what the theme is going to be here too? Is we still have that raid theme that they have yet to unleash, or is
Oh,
that
yeah, I
going to be
think that
maybe a
was pack-
C-series thing?
I think it was like a pack
mean,
battle thing.
I think you're right. It might be like a pack stamina opening thing, but I don't know. Is it going to be incorporated into like what the game is like? Hey, we're giving you this raid feature just because for the pack opening, or is it going to be tied into like what's happening with the game? Like, oh, this is because we're dropping a Team Rocket set, and it's like again
Right.
like a thematic thing tied with the set. Somehow.
I think that's
is it going to be a thematic raid feature? Is it just like a hey, here's a random raid feature that's just untied into anything?
I did think it was gonna just be like a pack opening experience. Because again, like that's all they care about if people open packs, right? So
It's very true.
So like I honestly wouldn't even mind it. Like imagine if it was like, hey, spend like they make it like a game. Like it's like, hey, like you're gonna open these 10 packs, but like you're in it with 3 other people and you're defeating this boss and you guys.
So I'm saying, like, even if you're not actually attacking things, or if it's just opening packs, you're like, it's like the puzzle fighters. You know what I mean?
I
Where
think
it's
what
like
we read on
the background you're
Pokemon
fighting, but you're just doing a
Pokézone.
puzzle thing, right?
Right.
What's
what
up?
we read
Yeah.
on Pokézone, it's gonna be a raid where you just gather with a bunch of friends and open packs, and then you can wow or thanks whatever. Like
Yeah, it's probably lame, whatever it is. It's probably super lame.
and you could do it with bots too. So imagine
Oh,
if
sweet.
you're in a room with bots and then they pull a crown rare and you pull shit.
See, but that's what to me makes no sense. I'm like, if it's if it's a pack opening simulator, what's the point of the bots? The bots are gonna hype me up as I open my packs, or
Yeah,
how
they
does
will-
that
they
work?
prob-
Or I'm watching a bot open packs? Is that
nothing
again,
pack
that
related
doesn't make sense
makes
to
any
me. But the
nothing pack related does
No.
make sense. It's not.
No,
This
that's
goes
what I was
back to
thinking.
the
Like the
pack
raid thing,
simulator
like
theory.
it's giving me a raid like vibe type thing. Again, even if it's not like, even if it ends up just being like, it's not, you're not actually playing the game. You're just opening packs, and it's in the background. You're progressing towards defeating this Mewtwo that you're not actually fighting against. You're just, as your stamina builds, he's getting less and less health or something, and you finally
Yeah,
defeat
right,
him, and you get a special prize out of it.
Dude, a raid battle, like even if it was just like a PVM,
So sick!
like, it
Oh
would
my
be
god,
so fun,
can
like
you
a
imagine?
multiplayer PVM.
A
be
Mega
sick.
Rayquaza
Three
with like
people.
500 HP, and then
Right, and
you
there's
have
just it's
3
like
people.
Commander and Magic almost. But
Yeah.
you're fighting like this boss. I think that would be, dude. Honestly, the best game mode they could add would be like a Commander mode where it's like 1v1v1v1, and like you can attack into whichever. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be sick, dude?
that would
Wouldn't that
be
be
sick.
super
I'd love
fun, dude? Wouldn't that be super
Oh, I
hype
would
if you
love
could
it.
go free for all pocket battles? That'd be sick. I would love that.
Most gotchas don't find their legging until year 2, and I brought this up in chat, and somebody, I think it was M right, but either way, they were saying like, yeah, most gotchas don't find their footing to like year 2, right? Or at least these bigger name ones, like the Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z ones, the Pokemon ones. I think even Go, right, to a certain extent, maybe not year 2, but like they had a late, like it was later on in their life that they kind of established like
They
a
blew up
foothold
though in
of
2016.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, like in a game like Pocket, and I think because the dev cycle like is relatively like long, things take a while. You got to understand, like, Pocket released, and they knew they would just make money with it, so they just sort of made a game that could just maximize income.
Generate.
Then they made $1 billion. They made literally probably more than $1 billion, and they were like, "All right, now what do we do?" Right? And I think for them, it was like there was no need, there was nothing pressing them to update their game, to improve their game, to change their game, right? Until like probably over the last, I don't know, like year or so, where they were like, yeah, like we're losing players, so we need to actually start developing a game now.
Could have
And
been
the
the
good news
biggest
is,
cash grab ever.
yeah, well,
Oh, it
it is.
was.
It's
It
already
was.
is.
It
It
still
is the
is.
it's the most
Yeah.
profitable like app ever, other than like Candy Crush, right? So it's like now they can sit back and say, hey, like how do we now make this an actual game that can continue on, now that we've made all our money, right? And we know that
Well,
that
and the fact
initial
that
thing
it's
is over.
Pokemon 2 is if they did do some sort of major update, it's gonna make news on like all the gaming site. I mean, it could be this
Yeah, you
game
have
has the potential to draw people back in
oh
like the
for
hordes. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
sure, for
Like
sure. The thing is,
massive
everyone
hordes.
knows about Pocket. Like that's the upside that you have, is that like if you do something, if you do improve your game, if you do a massive update, like you have these. How many people was it? Like 200 million people or whatever that have downloaded your
Insane
game.
amount.
So
Yeah.
there's that many people that are familiar. So all you got to do now is to bring them back, and get them interested again, which is much easier. It is a much easier thing to do than to like get people initially interested. So I mean, and again, like there's a million things they could do. They certainly have the budget. They have to. I don't believe. I refuse to believe otherwise. And it's just whether or not that's what they choose to go. But again, we've seen these companies just completely delete. They just throw their games in the dump.
Unite.
Unite is literally trash. But keep in mind, Unite's been absolute garbage for probably 3 years,
Since
or whatever.
yeah.
So
Honestly, since it's like Unite didn't
right.
generate the money that Pokemon Pocket
No,
did generate.
and that's the problem. Is like Unite just there was no revenue to be generated with Unite other than like the cosmetic skins, which again like just weren't really a thing much. Like I bet the income for that game plummeted pretty quickly and just was never really able to be sustainable in that sense. Where again, Pocket, maybe they're down, what is it, 50% players or whatever year over year, but it's like, hey, we're still making $100 million like a month or whatever, a quarter. So it's like, I'm not, stop complaining. Like you have the money. Like even if this game loses another 50% of its audience, you're still one of the biggest games in the world. So that's how I feel about it.
That is true.
Like right. It's like, are we worried that we're going to go from, 200 million players to 100 million players? Like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like
it's insane.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I've got hopes for year 2. Again, if they come back with ZA Megas and say like, "Hey, ZA Megas are coming," and we have, or year 3, I guess it is now. But either way, if they announce ZA Megas and some sort of content coming to the game, like, "Hey, we're doing instance tournament or a tournament series or something." Actually, I think that would kind of hurt us as like tournament content creators. But if they did like an instance tournament series in game that happened on certain days of the week between certain hours of the day, kind of like how the Shadowverse people did it, or just events. If they did events that were like rotating events, or
it's real,
again,
just things. Literally, dude. The ideas can go on forever. Just
the thematic packs are giving me hope that they're giving us like thematic events that are coming.
Yeah, that would
like
be
that's
cool.
maybe what that's going to be tied into, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna have a Team Rocket month. Next month we're gonna have this month. You know what I mean? Obviously, I hate to say it, but I smell a battle pass coming. But still, it would be something to grind, right?
The thing is, if they do add events, what I'm scared of is based around their recent updates and the direction is like leaning towards like single battle focused stuff, which I really don't like, and I don't think that's really good. I don't know how many people are that. Like, I think most people just do it because they can press auto battle and they get rewards. Like, I don't think that's something that people are really appealed by, the single battle sort of feature. You know what I mean? Like against the computer. Fine, like it's fine to have those things.
It's not
like,
rewarding
for sure.
whatsoever.
It's not engaging. Like I don't care. Like Like that's not what I want this
Well,
game to be. So
so Ericko kind of mentioned it earlier, and I brought it up last week briefly too. But they are getting rid of the solo step up battles, whatever like the current
right,
single player format
but
they
they're
have. They're
but they're
getting rid of it.
replacing it though. But they're replacing it with another single battle format,
That's
right?
true. That's
And
true.
they
But
did add the random battles. Remember the last thing they added was like the random
that
battles,
gives me
which are
hope
singles.
though that if they're getting rid of it, that maybe we're heading towards a giant content revamp, right? Like it's getting we don't see the full
Hard to know.
picture. We're just we've
Maybe
heard that
we
it's
are.
being taken. Yeah, that's very true. Maybe they're just getting rid of content. They did do that. They have just gotten rid of content before, so
Took
Yeah,
out
again,
rank
I
for
just
2
there's no
weeks.
way to know, dude. There's no I don't know. It's so hard because there's no transparency. There's just literally no way to know, and uh, the thing is, we're gonna be there to find out whatever ends up being the case. It's tough because like it doesn't take a lot for them to just sort of let this fall off the rails like hard, right? Like just like Unite, where they're like, hey, we
yeah.
don't care. The thing is, Unite literally didn't get a single update for like over a year, so it was like,
When we don't have that, right? We have the monthly content every month.
right,
So
right.
and it seemingly, I don't know, the quality of the content has been good. I didn't really like
Yeah,
the
I
Puppy
agree.
Pile set was the theme was questionable, but the content inside of it was pretty good, I would say, right? Like
Yeah,
I have liked these packs.
the themes are really tough to me because I think from their perspective and from a revenue perspective, like I think thematically these sets really do impact the profit they make.
Mhm.
And I think for like a lot of people, at least in my experience, and people who play Pocket or care about Pocket, like they generally don't care that much about certain sets, even if they are great and fun and have good cards in them. Like it's like, oh, this is the Paldea set or whatever, and people are like, I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. Um, and again, they are running out of regions as well. So it's like, they got to do something. And creatively speaking, it's like the official TCG. They just rotate the same thematic sets almost every year. You have your Pikachu set, you have your Charizard set, you have your Evolution set, you have your new Pokemon set. You have like you know what I mean? Like they kind of do the same
Mhm.
thing over and over again in the official TCG. They just sort of package it differently. So we could see that. Like they could just be like, you know what? Let's just do another Gen 1 themed set. They could just make it Mewtwo themed, and people are like, oh, Gen 1, you know what I mean? And then all the money
Yeah.
rolls in. So like thematically, I genuinely don't care because it doesn't matter to me. But I would like it to be whatever's the most popular among the fan base that gets people excited to just open the packs
Yep.
and then inversely play the game. And like I don't know, again, I don't know what
Pocket
their
is
plan
a
is for
unk
that.
game, so
Dude, Pocket's such a weird game, dude. There's I could literally talk for like a million years about like the things they
Oh
really
yeah.
should do. I think one of the biggest problems that we're facing right now is like people don't know where to start. When they come in, they're like, oh, like I want to collect the cards and then I want to build a deck, but they're like, wait, this card is from the first set, this one's from the fourth set, this card is from the third set, this one's from the 14th set, and they're like, how do I get you know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? And they definitely need to do something in that sense to give players the opportunity to come in like today,
Yeah.
and do it. You know what I
You
mean?
know, and I hate to say it, but universal pack points would be a great thing
Yeah.
to help those players be able to pick up those older cards.
Yeah.
I think that they're also getting fairly good though at just like ripping, like you can just come in and rip off like whatever the current set is and get a deck that's good,
Yeah, they have the
viable.
trial decks. They have
they
that. What
are
are the
giving
things called?
Lucario and Charizard
Yeah.
at
So what are the
Y.
the like elite trainer
Yeah.
decks or whatever
Oh,
where you
those
Yeah.
get all
two.
the
Yeah, those
cards?
are amazing. Those are
Right.
amazing, honestly, where
Right.
you get level
So they're-
3 and you get a full Lucario deck that's I mean, obviously it's not full optimized Lucario of like
But it's
what's being
almost
ran in
there.
the
It's
meta
only
right
a
now,
couple
but
cards off.
it's fairly good.
yeah.
Exactly. It's only a couple
Yeah.
cards off. And there's small cards too that could be like traded or shared. I mean, you could have a brand new account up and running with 1 to 2 meta viable decks in a day or two of just trading and I
Yeah.
guess you can't trade for 14 days,
The
but
thing is, the
you know what I mean.
universal pack points and stuff is tough because like you're supposed to trade cards. Like that's the kind of the concept with the game, which does hold it back in a lot of ways. I probably should do better about because my content is just I don't have any regard for like if someone's like, hey, like I just started playing, like I'm like, sorry, like I'm kind of talking about whatever's like the
Yeah.
top of the meta. So it's tough to
Yeah.
make kind of that evergreen type content for Pocket. Um, but yeah, maybe it is fine. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a new player, so it's hard for me to know. But
True. But yeah, no. Excited for the future of this game. We're gonna get that information within 2 weeks.
Next
So
week.
That's gonna be
Crazy.
insane. Well, next
it is
week we're gonna get
Rockets,
the trailer, and then
Yeah,
2
if it
weeks
is Rockets, I'm
Worlds.
excited, dude. I'm actually excited no matter what, because
Dude,
like
if it's
whenever
Rockets,
you
I'm
get a
doing
new
mad
set,
clips.
whenever we get a new set out of an already good like meta, like it's like I get excited because it's like, oh, like I don't know what to expect. Like
Yeah.
it's different when like Suicune's still gonna be good, or like Magnezone's still gonna be good, like because it's like, But now it's like I genuinely don't know. Like if they throw in a couple bones in here that are like it could just go off the white.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anymore. We're kind of approaching that type of territory.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if it's either Team Rocket or what, or the Primals, I guess I would take either.
Could be Paldea. Could be Galar and
Could be
friends.
Gen
We had enough
5.
Paldea. Get them
Could
out
be
of
the
here.
could be the Greedent.
Yeah.
Could be
Gen
the
5 ends
Greedent
up being a
picnic
mini
set.
set. That's it.
Yeah. Nah.
Dude, I'll take it, dude. I don't care at all. Just give me it. I don't care. I don't care. Just give it to me.
He's like needs it.
Not a lot of Gen 5 megas, but guess what? Scolapede's Gen 5. There was other megas that came out. Gen 5 Pokemon. Golurk's Gen 6. Chandelure got a mega.
Ooh, that could
Scrafty
be a good
got a
one.
mega. Excadrill got a mega. Ambor got a mega. Insert Gen 5 Pokemon with new mega evolution.
Golurk is 5.
No, it's not.
The
Is
tower.
it? It is. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
right. It is Gen 5. Gen 5, go. Let's go.
Hey.
Yeah. Dude, give us Gen 5. Please,
Spiral
mate.
Tower.
Dude.
That's the only reason I remember it.
I'm guessing it right now. C2 is going to be Gen 5 themed.
Go.
C2.
C2. It's coming,
can't-
right?
C2 is going to be Gen 5.
Christmas time.
Mark
That would
that
be
down.
Christmas
Write
time,
that
right?
down, dude, because when
That'll
I'm
be a
right, you guys
Christmas
are going to
present,
be like,
Maddie.
I
you
can't
guys are
wait
going to
to
be like, whoa,
get
like I can't believe Maddie got that right.
Mega Electrode for C4.
Mega Electros? Or what?
C4.
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh,
because
yeah,
C-
that's funny. C4.
and
That is funny.
Self-destruct.
That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. Yeah, no, I really, again, like to leave people off, like we love to speculate about things they could add to the game, but there's
Yeah.
so much, like the cards have been banging, dude. The metagame's been banging. It's super fun. Just give us new game modes, give us new events, give us gameplay, things to do,
Exactly.
give us tournaments, give us anything, because like you're doing almost everything perfectly. Like realistically speaking, it's almost perfect. It's just
Well, and based off like the remaining cards left in the pool, like the upcoming cards are going to be bangers too, right? So again, I think
they got
I think-
bangers on bangers ready. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot of good
exactly.
Pokemon.
All we need is the content to play them in, and we're set. But
Right.
Exactly.
I hope that's
exactly.
I hope that's what's coming
We've been
next
saying
week.
that all year. We've been saying that all year,
Yep.
though. I feel like,
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
it doesn't even have to be megas either, dude. You got to remember, Hydreigon was the best thing in the game, and it was not even an EX
Exactly.
card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes they
Luca.
kind of are like, yeah.
The only
that's- I
reason
mean,
megas is just because those are selling points, and
yeah, they're the mascots,
that
right? Of sense.
they'll bring the revenue, and then us meta people could worry about them Hydreigon like cards.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the people when C1 comes out. They're like, oh, which pack should I open? What's the best pack? I'm like, it's been out for a day. Like it's gonna change. Like,
Genetic
tomorrow.
Apex.
You know what I
Open it.
mean?
Go
They're like,
back and open
it's-
Genetic Apex.
and it ends up being the Altaria pack, and that was the one nobody opened. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of how meta stuff always goes in games, right? Not even just Pokemon stuff, but like in a lot of games, it's always like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. The meta thing is this like off thing, like this off random thing, not the really
Right.
cool looking big whatever main mascot thing is. It's the off
Yes.
Oricorio small dancing bird. That's the that's the
Right.
meta. Is the small meme bird.
I do kind of miss like the pack battles, like the war between people who were like, oh, Dialga versus Palkia. Like they were like,
Mhm.
this one's better, this one's better. Like that was fun. Like it was fun content. That's something they are kind of missing from the multi-pack releases, I feel
Yeah.
like. Although, I feel like a lot of people complain about the single packs, at least for like the main sets, because there's so many cards in one pack and the pull rates stink, right? Like
Oh,
at
it
least you could
sucks.
target farm like a little bit better with 2 packs. It was probably more annoying to get all the cards, but if you wanted a particular card, it was a lot easier to go for it, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
I talk too much. Talk too much.
No, right.
This is what happens when you bring me on the pod. How long has it been?
Me and Maddie are a
It's like
dangerous
2
combo.
hours and
2.5, bro.
minutes.
We're reaching end game. We're reaching end game levels.
Pretty much. But anyways,
Fine, dude.
thank you guys for coming through. The future of Pocket's looking bright. We got 2 weeks of getting brand new information for this game, so sit
Yep.
tight, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.
Yeah.